Greetings, blessings, salutations, and love. Once again, welcome back to Chats with Jack. I am Jack Talcott, and it is Talcott Tuesday, according to my calendar. And for those who caught it, what do you think? What do you think of the new intro? A little change, a little twist? I was excited. I am excited. Changes are happening. And brothers and sisters, sincerely, all of you who have already popped in, thank you. Just Frank, you had me cracking up, man. This Talcott Tuesday production brought to you by a guy that tries hard not to be the guy trying too hard. The new and improved, saucy, sexy, and gluten-free Jack Talcott. Hey, blessings. I'm here. I'm feeling pretty up. I'm in high spirits again. Feeling pretty good mood. Admittedly, though, I hit go live and I'm flying a little loose. I didn't prepare a lot. Matter of fact, my notes, which usually I don't come in with pages of notes, but even my notes this morning are a little lacking. I wasn't focused so much on me. I wasn't focused so much on my inspiration. I actually had some opportunities for conversations, and there's some new things brewing behind the scenes, brothers and sisters. So stay tuned, sincerely. I'm hoping to bring us some interesting conversations and perspectives, and maybe ideally, some new developments to share. Maybe we can see some rapid growth pretty soon. Anyway, that's the future. But today it ties in actually with the topic of goals, right? And I'm not gonna lie, this speaking at or speaking from or speaking with the representatives behind the seal of the President of the United States, yeah, I'd like to have some conversations with those folks. And these ideas have been implanted in my mind about what could be accomplished, what might actually happen in this lifetime. I mean, I spent a long time, over 40 years, just kind of going through the motions, not really caring much about what life was doing. I didn't really care much about the world. I didn't really care much about myself either. I was just going through the motions, not really living life, just kind of pretending. I'm telling you, brothers and sisters, if you're just pretending to live, don't bother. I mean, stop pretending and start doing. Ooh, there we go. This was the note I didn't write down. Our abilities to make a mountain out of a molehill, right? To make something very insignificant. We can blow it out of proportion and make it such a big deal. Whoops. I'm sure if you haven't done it, if you haven't noticed yourself doing it, getting upset about something pretty small and insignificant, maybe you know others who have. But the thought I had today is we do have that ability to blow things out of proportion and make a big deal out of nothing. It doesn't have to be a bad thing. I found myself doing that earlier today, and at the moment it's lacking, but there was something small that just aligned and fell right into my day. And I realized I can celebrate over nothing, and it gives me a reason to celebrate. Speaking of reasons to celebrate, we've got our first guest. Click the link to join the panel, and welcome, Cage.
Hey, Jack, how you doing, buddy?
Good. How are you?
Good. Thank you for asking.
Welcome.
I came on another. Can I share something quickly with you?
Yeah. Is that you in the back?
Yeah, it's me.
Okay.
But you remember this one? This is what sparked the entire, the Talcott clip collection and all that. Remember back in the day? Remember I started showing the the Jack AI talking about being an authentic self. But here, let me show you. This is what sparked this entire fucking nonsense. Like this.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
Hello, brothers and sisters. It's Wednesday, May the 17th. I have a very important message for everyone. I just got back from my third initiation. It involved a goat and jerking off in a casket. It was a great experience, brothers and sisters. I also just got off the phone with my CIA handlers, and they asked to go reiterate the message again. You are all fucked. Anyways, peace and love, brothers and sisters. I got to get back to the UN. See you all soon.
The head nod, it just told me everything I needed to know.
You are all fucked.
Pretty much. Yeah, that was all the way back in May
Is that when that May
17th, I think. Yeah, it was like something like
You know, that's interesting. Something else just popped into my head the other day. I noticed I'd reached out to someone a long time ago. I'd forgotten I'd reached out to him, but shit, it was about May of last year when I reached out to them too. Time is flying, man. Time is really flying by.
Yep. Well, that's how they get people. It's like slowly eroding or something, right? Like for example, water will slowly erode any rock, any formation. It slowly erodes it, right? So it works.
Hey, Cage, actually, I'm glad you're here because I mentioned I didn't do a ton of preparation for today, but there was a thought that I really want to get into. And I figured, you know what?
I'm all ears, Jack.
The distinction, right? The distinction, where's the line between want and need? Want versus need. How do we know the difference? And where
Well,
is it
that's a
crossed?
necessity. It's a necessity, right? Like you need certain things. Jack needs to breathe air. Jack needs to eat. Jack needs to take a shit. Jack doesn't need all these other things, right? You know, but you do need things to survive, right? It's a survival mechanism. That's the necessity.
But well, see, this is where the question goes in is, you know, I don't want to press into that because there's some people who may be having those dark thoughts of, is survival necessary? But
Get out of here, Jack.
well, the want versus need, that's what it comes down to, sincerely. I don't need anything unless I want to stay alive, right? And that's what it comes down to.
What's your definition of alive, though? Well, like
Ooh.
talking. Well, we're in Malkuth. We're in Malkuth talking to each other now. Is that what it is? Come on, man.
Well, Cage, that's a great question too. What does it mean to be alive? And are we fulfilling these needs only so we can stay alive, but stay alive just for what? For
The
here,
betterment of other people, the people around you, your
there you
sphere
go.
of reality, whatever
Yeah.
you were able to. It's like this. It's like you're walking in the forest and you see a fucking piece of garbage on the ground. What are you gonna do? It's like it's not my fault. Someone else will take care of it, right? That's usually the ideology people have, the mentality. No, you pick it up yourself. If you see something that's out of place, you fucking deal with it. You know?
Amen. Well, I was considering these ideas. It's our wants and our needs that move us. Those wants and needs, they are our desires and our intentions. I think there's a lot of people, what I think happens a lot in this world, people aren't really thinking clearly. And so we build up in ourselves. This kind of ties back to that other making a mountain out of a molehill. Kind of ties back to these ideas. We get in our head, oh, I need this. Or we come across a problem, we think only one, we come up with an idea for a solution, then we're just narrow-minded and focused, saying, I need this. And then if we don't get what we think we need, then we continue to stay in a state of
Yeah,
suffering.
there's really no need to worry because you'll get what you need either way. So there's no need to worry about that. It'll automatically happen. Anything but beyond that is just a want.
Ooh, that's a good one. Be the one everyone needs, and soon you'll be the one everyone wants.
I'm not saying that. I'm not saying about you. I'm saying about getting what you need.
Yes.
Or you call it need or whatever. That's an automatic function. You'll be provided for enough to keep you alive, to use you as a battery or a cell in a way. Now, there's a reason why you're alive, and that's because you're useful to something or somebody. If you want to, if you want to be completely honest and blunt with it. And the same goes for me and everybody listening.
Yeah. We get to choose what we do while we're here, to some extent. Our choices are limited by what comes into our mind, by the ideas and the options that are in our awareness. I was trying to figure out how to use these ideas. How can I offer these observations in ways that would be helpful, right?
Utilize them. Live by, lead by example, right? So when you start having some positive shit, like I said, Jack, well, you never called the fucking number for the martial art thing, did you yet? You said you kind of did, but then you never actually attend. Bro, imagine Jack stood up right now and did a backflip on camera. No one could tell you shit ever. That would literally null everything. Imagine Jack did a fucking backflip. You could be like a ninja or something, in a way. Imagine Jack was like a fucking... Yeah, why not? You can train yourself. You still have it in you, but...
Right.
Better late than never.
Well, I don't feel the need to really try and impress people with tricks or acrobats, but
You say like fuck off and just backflip. No one can tell you anything after that. It's over.
actually, that's one of the things I was thinking. It in a roundabout way, I was considering what you're saying, Cage. I mean, honestly, every one of us, anyone listening, we all have the ability. Our bodies, our minds are able to do so many different things. And if you look at YouTube, dude, look at YouTube. See all the crazy the human tricks that people are doing. You can train your body to do some amazing things. And there's a lot of people doing those things.
Yes, but it's a mind too, right?
Yes.
So you can't neglect one or the other, right? Some people, that's usually how they get people, right? The left or the right hemisphere of the brain, either logic or imagination type thing. Usually people are off balance, right? They're either like overly logical or overly imaginative in a way. So it's the convergence of both. It's the symbiosis, the middle pillar, as back to the inner alchemy type thing.
I don't know where you're going with that.
I'm just saying, if you have a powerful mind, then you could easily train the body, and you need the convergence of all of that. You can't neglect the body. You can't neglect the mind. You can't neglect anything. Like you have to, deal with things properly.
Technically,
the body's a temple, right?
Yes. Technically, we can neglect anything, but we're going to have to face the consequences of doing so. And I think that's something our society has been lacking, is accepting the consequences. We see the consequences for our voting choices, right? We get the government that we elect, and then there doesn't seem to be a lot of accountability either in the elected or in those doing the voting. So we've got like this, what's that, the shell game? What's that called?
I know what you're talking about. Yeah, you have 3 shells, and
Yeah,
follow where it is, but it's an optical illusion. Right?
yes,
It's nowhere. It's cupped under my hand.
that's what this society is, dude. 3-card Monty. Thank you, Just Frank. I think that's what we were trying to think of.
It's called Monty. Okay.
Yeah, it's this shell game, man. It's just it's trick of hands, sleight of hands, distraction techniques. It's, hey, look at Ukraine. We're gonna do this in Israel. Look over here. We're gonna do this over here. I mean,
Don't look within whatever you do, Jack. Don't look within your own mind. What are we doing?
Yes, there you go.
Yeah, don't do that.
Actually, Cage, thank you. That's bringing it back to what we can offer. The society, the world, the authority. They're telling us where to look, where not to look, but the best place to look, brothers and sisters, is right here, right now, within. Look within, right here, and right now.
There you go. I'll say brothers and sisters for that one. You know, you want to use that dialogue.
Well, hey, actually, here's another twist, right? In this world we live in, partial truths keep us confused. And I've been reinforcing repeatedly to people about stay present, live here and now. This is where you live. This is it.
Well, hold on. What were you saying? Half truths?
Yes.
Okay, yeah. In the Kabbalion, in the Hermetic texts and stuff, they say everything in reality is a half truth or a half a lie. Technically, that's how it moves. There's a half truth or a half a lie. Same thing.
That's only partially true.
Exactly.
Well, Cage, that paradox was something I was unwilling to accept, because how can that be? You got to be right. You're either right or you're wrong. And that was the world I lived in. But these partial truths here, it is a truth. We only live right now. But sometimes when you focus on remembering that, and the world is just stacked all against you, you don't want to live right now. It's like, fuck that. I don't want to be here and now. This sucks. Okay, the flip side of that, all moments pass. This too shall pass.
The only constant is change, Jack? But again, like, we're looking at it as like, how is this affecting me? Like, you have to take yourself out of the equation in a way in order to change reality or to formulate your own reality. You kind of have to separate yourself from it. Like, not be held on to these attachments of winning or losing or failing or succeeding. These are just limitations. You transcend beyond that, and you're kind of looking at yourself in a third person, or like a bird's eye view. You take care of business either way.
Yes, changing our perspective. That is what transcends us, allows us to transcend, is by changing our perspective. Hey, tacos, man. I love tacos, but I gave up ground beef. And so I've had some lentil tacos that weren't too bad. But Cage, what about you? You fast? I have not done intentional long fast.
Sometimes. Yeah, I usually only eat once a day. Right? But I guess that's intermittent fasting. But yeah, sometimes I do just water only for 72 hours around there.
Do you?
Yeah.
Admittedly, I haven't done intentional fasts because I hadn't overcome my nicotine, and I figured if I'm gonna fast from anything, that should be the thing. But hey, welcome, Joe Cool.
It was good. It was good, Cage.
What's up,
Oh,
Joe?
I'm only up here to hear the shit you talking, so don't stop talking on my account, right?
I just gotta hear that laugh when we get back on track.
Right, once we get that, we get back on track. But go
No,
ahead, Cage. Y'all killing it, bro.
yeah. Where were we at? We were the partial truths, and all moments pass, everything is changed. Embracing that change, accepting that all is change. That can be scary
Yes.
because we spend our lives trying to figure out the patterns, trying to figure out
Yes, but
consistency,
you
right?
need to figure the pattern by looking into the mirror because it's all a reflection of yourself. So you do need to have a very strong foundation, but you need to have something called adaptation, meaning like kind of what you're alluding to there, Jack. Right? Like you do need to change within the circumstances and what's presented to you. It's almost like a game of chess, right? There's always the next best move on the board, no matter what. Yeah. So,
Hey, yes, there is actually that idea. There's always how did you say it? There's always the next best move, something like that.
yeah, there's always like the most beneficial move on the
Okay.
board. Whereas it's a sequence, is it within the algorithm of reality? You know.
Yes, there's always a good move. It just may not be readily apparent. And sometimes, man, sometimes it's not easy to know what the next move is. But here's what I realized: to simplify my life, I don't have to know. I mean, it helps. It helps if I know A, B, C, all these steps and plans. But if I can just find the next step and be confident in that step, that's all I got to worry
You
about.
don't have to
Yeah.
worry about knowing everything. Only a fool thinks he knows. You know.
The older you get, it seems like the quicker and easier you'll get caught up in that trap. You've been watching these patterns, and you think you know the moves, and then when you see something you don't recognize, now you think you're stuck. So
Well, that's because you're playing on someone else's board, Joe.
if you don't have the fluidity
But no,
that
no, no.
you're
I make my
talking
own.
about,
You make your
I hear
own
you.
board. You make your own
Yeah.
board, and then now you have to play on your board. You know, your
I,
own.
I I agree with you. I'm saying once you become our age, at least I don't know how old you are, me and Jack's age, you may think you're a man, you've conquered, you're stubborn, and all of that shit. If you don't keep that flexibility, like you say, you won't see the next move because all you see is the certain types of moves that you've been doing, blah blah blah. But if you don't play by those fucking rules, for instance, you get in trouble with a cop, and you think the thing that you do is whatever the fucking law tells you to do, but there are many options. You get in trouble,
That's a damn good point, Joe. Just
Thank
something
you.
as simple as that is interacting with someone authority. There's a
You
number of
listen.
ways.
You
Yeah,
listen to your friends. If this guy is corporate structure, fucking indoctrinated stink on him, that guy is telling you, "Oh, Joe, what you do is you get 1,000 signatures, and you get a petition, and you call your governor, and that's what they're gonna tell you. They're indoctrinated in that form. Fucking guru is gonna tell you, Joe, why didn't you shoot the cop when he tried to give you a ticket? You got all sorts of fucking crazy shit. What's up, dog?
yeah.
Whatever
Well,
you do, but don't reach for anything.
yeah. What you're saying, that kind of goes with changing that perspective. I don't remember exactly how you said it, Cage, but allowing ourselves to kind of detach, separate from it, and see it from a different perspective. That's where other experiences really do come in handy, right?
Yes.
Learning from the experiences of those who are willing to stand up to the cops. Until
And
you see
also
that,
judging how effective they were in what they did, right? You find a bunch of people like when I run around and see cats like Paul and them that I think they hate this world due to soft shit. So until I find a better word.
right?
And I don't even know these things are possible. I talked to him and Wizard and motherfuckers tell me, you could have did this. I don't even know they're fucking possible. I need all these different people and where you put your time in order, so I don't invest
So
10,000
most
hours
people
trying to
don't
find out
care
everything.
about the projection. They care about themselves. Right? Like I said, the most powerful tool is looking in the fucking mirror. Go stare yourself in the eyes in the mirror for like 10 minutes.
You are
Fuck
my
that.
mirror. When I watch you
Exactly.
guys, you're
I'm a
just my
projection. I'm
mirror.
a projection of your subconscious
Yeah,
mind.
that's all it is,
And
bro.
now you
That's how I
pass it
learned
on.
about me. Watch you.
Oh, there you go.
I agree with
This
that
is
one.
this is a nice side, but you know what time it really is there. Fuck, John. You know,
It
some
is.
things are better left unsaid.
Hey, I agree. Well, I agree with both, right? That the truth is on both sides there. Looking at the one in the mirror, but then seeing myself in you, right? You others around us are our best teachers in good
and
ways
What shape?
and
What
bad.
shape is your eye, Jack?
what
What
changes your eye or
Shape.
shapes? What
Shape.
shapes your eye?
I'm not sure what you mean.
The shape of your eye. Like, what is it? Like a triangle? Is it a square? Is it a
No, it's
intersection of Vesica's Pisces? Who knows what it is?
yeah. It's yeah, what is it? The Vesica Pisces, whatever.
That's an
The Ves-
intersection between
yes.
that, and you can even see it in, like, you love Jesus and that, right? Everyone loves Jesus, and even within that symbol, you see the Vesica Pisces intersecting with that fish symbol, right? That's depicted by that. It's all geometry, the structure of this world.
Sacred geometry,
Yeah.
It's all
tetrahedrons, all that crazy shit. Yeah.
well, I am convinced of the philosophies that all is mind. We are within the mind of God and we are within our own minds. We're within the minds of each other.
If that's true, Jack, any chance that our minds together created this? If we are kids of God, He breathed into us. We have some of His creative abilities. Is it possible that our minds, this world doesn't exist unless our shitty little minds create this world of chaos? Because that's all we're capable of, is creating some nonsense world that is selfish as fuck. Because that's a reflection of what we are.
Yes, until we overcome that creation.
I don't
Isn't
know
that
that there's an until, right? Because I'm a fan of history. I'm not sure there's an until. Individually, we come over, but I'm not sure we get together and make something happen. I'm not sure. I'm not saying we don't. I try every day, and I still got more hope than a fucking 5-year-old, a Disney fan. Uh, but history doesn't tell me that these things that we
Hey,
talk about
hey,
are
hey,
accomplishable.
Joe,
Yeah,
never give that up. You always have to have hope. Like the mind of a child will change the world. You know what I mean? It's
I
the
do.
same kind of thing. But yeah, because they go deep into that, right? You can go into the Bohemian Grove, go into all this stuff. They have something called the cremation of care, which is
Yeah.
just one basic thing they're showing people. It's something called a reverse absolution ritual, meaning that you're pretty much going to give up that care. You're going to cremate it, meaning transmute it through fire, and you're going to pretty much forgive yourselves for the things that you're going to be made to do later on in the year. Usually during the
Yes.
winter solstice.
Yeah.
So much, the solstices, they're big times for that. And yeah, that they have a fucking plan, and they're not talking about it; they're doing it. You know.
Yeah. That's if you don't not into that shit, then you said a mouthful there, Nick. If motherfuckers not familiar with Bohemian Grove,
mm,
and the
Well,
rituals they
no, but
do.
the point is the cremation of care, right? It goes back to that care thing. It's something called the reverse absolution ritual. Anyone want, you can search
right?
that up if you want more information.
Yeah.
It's
And
same
like
thing that. Go ahead.
well, yeah, like I think what Joe is saying, for those who may not know, that's what it's kind of coming from. The Bohemian Grove is where I think that really came to light. And that creation of what came to my mind when you're
Oh, you're
describing
you're a hoot, Jack. You're a hoot.
You're a hoot.
Holy cows, buddy. You're a fucking hoot.
that. Hey, what the thought that came to my mind when you're describing that uh, dissolution or absolution ceremony, the
Reverse
cremation of care.
absolution, yeah.
Well, think about it. The elite they've created a power structure, a group, a support group, where they emotionally help each other overcome those limitations. And
Yes. And they tell themselves, Cage is talking about a little bit, but the way they free themselves from their sins is if I offer you
I'm gonna
heroin in
tell you what the
this,
fuck I'm gonna do.
I
It'll make
must
it
tell
very
you
apparent.
I
Yeah.
must tell you first, right? If I give you some drugs and they'll kill you, if I tell you these drugs and they'll kill you eventually, and you take them, I am free from sin. If I do it sneakily, then I am guilty. So part of the what you see them doing is sticking shit in your face. They tell you outright these things, and now they're no longer responsible. And another thing that they believe is that they believe in the Bible, they believe in God, and they believe that, as the Bible says, Satan was cast down here with a third of the heavenly host, and he ruled this. And if he has control of this, as the Bible says, and you want worldly things, who would you pray to? Us, we're suckers if we only pray to God. If you want $1 million, nigga, pray to Satan. And that's who you pray to for worldly things. You don't go to God. And if you don't accept that, you're not part of them. You're dumb. You're soft, because you won't open up to everything. There is no sin. They got a lot of weird fucking beliefs.
hey, Cage, you brought this up, this reverse absolution. Um, where where did you learn that from? Where do you think it
So
where,
I've done a lot of research. Like since a little kid, like I've always been since a little kid, I always knew there's something going on. Right. So I used whatever resources like that I could and tried learning the best I can. And yeah, it's not something
Dom,
that
why
people
are you?
talk about very often.
I was reading Dom's back check. Why aren't you guys unmuting Dom and saying some of this shit?
hmm?
Dom, he's in a private chat. He's making a couple of statements about the forefathers and shit. I was wondering why he didn't just unmute and say that shit. I don't think he said a word since he was up here.
What?
Hold on, maybe I'm crazy.
No, I agree. I don't pay a lot of attention
Oh
to
yeah, he's in the back chat talking.
back
Yeah,
chat. The comment. I assume. What if we are a collective of our forefathers, and what would be a need or want to learn?
yes, I'm not sure I understand you, Dom.
I'm not sure I understand either.
What happens if we are collective? And the reason why we keep on having wars is because it's constant. So we repeat itself over and over again. And how does that fill into the category of our wants opposed to our needs on those areas? It's like when Cage is talking about killing of care. How does that fall into the category of a want or a need?
Cremation.
Freemason.
Thanks, Cage.
Yeah. If you said burning, same shit. If that's what you said. But yes, we'd absolutely, undoubtedly be a unit, and however you just phrase it. I had one
Just
hit,
don't
maybe
care about
two,
anything
and
to
I'm
go along with it.
getting the highest
Don't
fuck.
use your will and your God-given right to enact any sort of change at all. Your will will not be done. Apparently,
Yes,
don't care
yes,
about anything.
yes,
It's a sick fucking twisted shit in order to
yes. And,
brainwash.
and in fact, run to someone else who knows more, someone else, and get them to do it for you. Someone who's more capable, more studied. That's what they teach you. His
Or just
opinion is
sit
more
around, twiddle
valuable
your
than yours.
thumbs. It's like I was saying to Jack. You're walking around and you see a fucking piece of trash on the fucking ground. What? So what? You see it. You know that you can easily pick it up and throw it into the trash can. There's a trash can not even far, or you can just bring your own, package it. Yet most people they see that just leave it. Someone else will do it. Someone else will do it for me. Someone else will take care of
What's
that.
up,
Don't
Henry?
pay someone to do that.
Yes, yes.
You know?
That's more like what
No,
we do. We
pick the
ride down the
trash
street.
up. Pick the trash up when you see it.
We bitch and complain about it. That where's the fucking janitor and the crew when you need them? How come they haven't done this? That's
You
what we're
wouldn't need
trained to
one if
do.
everyone saw something on the ground that needed to be thrown away or
I'm with you,
recycled,
baby.
transmuted. Then it would
What's
all
up,
be
man?
transmuted. It'd be recycled properly, and that's it.
I'm with you. Hank, that you had something you wanted to add? You just
Oh,
want us to see your pretty face.
oh, me, yes. So, some of this conspiracy stuff, I understand the elites are doing stuff, but it's not. You can't just get cut in. Just if you have the same beliefs, you don't just get cut in.
I'm
So
not sure I got that last part. Are you saying if you have the same beliefs, you cut in? Are you saying that the
you do
elite
not get cut in.
exists?
You do not
The
get cut in. You have to literally just be part of. It's a friends group. It's a small group. Even if you believe the same thing as at least you don't just get welcomed in. So
Right. I'm told that someone has to reach down and pull you up and invite you, even if you believe everything and all of that, unless someone who believes, in you for whatever reason.
yes. So
Yeah.
it may have to do more about who knows who rather than
Yeah.
what their beliefs are. I mean,
At a,
Joe Rogan's probably more like an elite than, and let's say, Collective Dismal, who has globalist philosophy. Joe Rogan would be more welcome in the elite group, even though he deviates from them.
It's all
like
controlled
Trump. No, I totally understand. I said
controlled
I had a.
opposition. Or it's Hegelian dialect, right?
Yeah.
So no matter which way you go, you're still going one way or another. How you doing, Jesse? There you go.
I'm really good. How y'all doing today?
You're no longer Jamaican. You've acclimated back to the Canadian.
Yeah, man.
No, I got dance hall Jamaican in my blood. So
Absolutely, man.
I used to actually
Acme
DJ
saltfish,
dance
bro.
hall
Come on.
reggae about 30 years ago with vinyl records, and I was actually DJing dance hall on a radio station for a guest slot and stuff. So it's been dance hall's been in my blood for a very long time.
This
I know.
dude got more stories than
I
Forrest
know
Gump.
exactly what you're talking about.
It's been live for life.
Look,
Forrest Gump,
Jesse's
bro.
over here. Jesse, come to Carabana in Toronto next year. Maybe he'll catch a 1-2 bubble, you know? There you
Yeah,
go.
I'm just gonna assume that's someone trying to play Paul, and that's not the real Paul.
Tyler, the clever one.
It's Tyler. Everyone knows Tyler. He's smart.
Okay.
I don't think it's an imposter. Welcome. How are you today? Anyway.
Good day, Tyler. We're talking about the elite shit, and I had a thought, but damn it.
Here,
It'll come back, Joe.
tying back into, I mean, it's kind of a stretch in consideration, but being able to overcome our opinions, our fears, our insecurities, that's what that execution of care, cremation of care, or whatever, those rituals, that's the idea behind it.
Jack, there's a little more sinister, the darker cultist aspect.
Right. Well, here, just in the general part, is it a want or a need for us to be able to overcome our feelings?
What is this? It's almost like a sociopathic thing where the goal is greater than you, me, anybody, and the goal is happening, and it doesn't matter if anybody gets in the way. You're going to get dealt with regardless. That's pretty much what it is.
Well, but rather than the specificity of that example, back to the general part of overcoming feelings and emotions, is that a want or a need?
That's definitely beyond a want or a need. Now we're getting into a whole different plane.
It's a want.
No, it's beyond that.
Well,
like now you're being charged to do something. You know.
Well, here, let me bring this into specific. I mean, because there's a lot of people generally. There's a lot of people today carrying trauma, carrying depression, anxiety.
We all are, right?
Right?
Yeah.
So is it a want or a need? I think, well, it's an opportunity. Every want or a need is an opportunity.
Well, that's all ego based. Like what you want to do something and what in your little ego, your little complete. Think about it. It's some dissolution, right? Like, it's me. No, this is not how reality works. Okay. Like again, wants and needs is all ego based fucking talk.
Okay, but we all deal with wants and needs.
No,
And
not everybody deals with that.
okay, so what do those people?
Wait. Not everybody. I had tuned out because I was reading up some shit about the cremation of kerosene. If I can put it into some simple shit, but you say we don't all deal with wants and needs. I thought that was just like the only thing humans did.
No,
I must have missed
it goes
something.
way beyond that. That's the little paradigm they're trying to put.
Well, I'm listening right here. You can tell me. I'm listening. I'm right
It
here.
goes way beyond that. Do you want or need your heart to beat? Maybe you want it, but do you need it to? It just automatically happens. It's an automatic function that's like a subconscious program that's installed.
It's a hypothetical imperative. So if I want to live and I need my heart to live, then I want my heart to beat.
No, you
Then
don't.
you
Like, what do you mean? Like, you know, you could be freed from this slavery apparently you're in while you're here. Again, you don't want or need to your heart to fucking stop beating. It just automatically happens.
no.
But you
I
still
don't.
want it
Maybe
and
I
need
don't
it.
understand. You still need your heart to beat if you're gonna eat a sandwich tomorrow morning at noon. You need it. You need shelter.
What needs it?
You
What
need
does you?
clothes.
What
You
is
need
you? What does that
food.
even mean? Yeah.
Excuse me. What does that need? It
What
means
is
that you
you?
don't
What is
exist.
you? You need
Excuse me.
that. What is it? What is you?
What is you? The flesh you that's walking this earth right now on the other side of this fucking computer
Well,
talking to
you
me.
is
That dude.
actually it's a Nordic rune, but yeah, I guess it's you too.
Okay, so you understand what I mean when you, if the object is to communicate, you understand what I'm talking about. You, and if you have a different meaning of it, please do better to explain to me. But please explain to me how it is that you, Cage, on the other side that pushes these buttons on his computer,
Wait, is that me or
don't
you?
need a heart, or
Is that me or
or
you or I? I don't know.
I
You,
have no.
myself, and I.
Oh, you're just trolling now. You having fun?
Yes,
All
that,
right.
I mean, I think that's
I like
what's
having fun.
we're just
That's okay. But I don't know. Fucking, I got a certain respect for Cage. He's a bright dude. I'm not used to him bailing out on shit.
Well,
I'm not gonna bail.
could he
Okay,
maybe,
what
but
you
could
is
he maybe be meaning that, you know, your whether or not your heart is beating or if you need it or not, you're still gonna live eternally. Maybe not in this life, so you don't need it to beat. You're still gonna eternally live on, whether it's beating
Yes.
or not. So I'm not sure if that's what you're getting at there, Cage.
And
yeah,
I
it's
was
a simple.
specific, but my question, I
You can
said to
bang the
stay
drum.
here. I
Yeah.
said to be here, to exist here where you're eating a sandwich tomorrow. I was specific in my question. I wasn't talking about the ether world afterward. What's up in my machine lines?
Well, again, it goes back
well.
to you
Hold,
being
hold
your
on,
heart. That's
just
the
a
issue.
moment, please. Rant.
Yeah, this is a friend that I brought here.
Oh, beautiful. Okay, beautiful. Just wasn't sure. Thank you.
We've been pouring bomb once or twice, Rant. No offense.
I
I don't
think
know.
it's all right.
Hey, welcome to you.
And if Machine Lines brought you, you're absolutely welcome. This dude has a good reputation among us and be a friend of his, friend of mine. In fact, all right, we'll cut the gay jokes. You don't know me yet, but I was about to slide into my gay jokes.
I want this. I want to feel like I'm hungry. I need food tomorrow. Okay.
Cage, are you saying ego is bad then?
Hey, yo, I know Joe
No,
Cool,
it's
bro.
about conquering it.
Okay.
Like I said, you have to be. If you want to do any magical practice, what it is, it's an automatic function that's built into the subconscious acumen, the subconscious mind, and it's self-attached from any goal. You know, it doesn't matter if it works or not. It doesn't work, or if it gives you or whatever the fuck you want to say you is. You know, some sort of benefit. That's irrelevant. That's gonna block it. It's gonna be a. You know, you're gonna reap what you sow. You have to lay. You know, make your bed. You gotta lay in it.
You started
Yeah,
off with what you, if you want this, if you have a goal. A goal would
I know.
be a want
No,
or need.
if you have a self-serving goal, it's not gonna work out for you.
I,
Self-serving goal. Wow.
I
Is
would
that
disagree. I
Cage?
do some magic.
Hey,
So
Lindsay.
there's some left hand path magic that that runs on charisma, runs on ego, and you have to be able to focus to have it to work. So
Yeah,
some
is that
magic
Cage,
doesn't
bro?
run on ego, some magic
That's
does.
Cage, yeah.
I know Cage too, bro.
All right.
Everyone knows Cage.
Yeah. I really like Cage at 3 in the morning when there's only 2, 3 motherfuckers on panel and he's going to the ranch. Best shit ever, bro.
You have to be there to see it, you know. You don't even want to know this type of shit I fucking went through. Oh my god, it's too much.
I'm not any good at ranting.
Nah, just play stuff. Yeah, usually I don't even talk ever. You know, I don't even respond to the fucking chat. I just play the stuff and let the information flow. Or no, the seed getting planted without disrupting it and looking at it every 3 seconds. Yeah.
Cage, you also you got to communication is everything, right? And you got to consider your audience when you're communicating. When Wizard now telling me about that right to travel shit, they got to dumb it down enormously, and I appreciate it. If you really want these things that you've the knowledge to get across, you'll learn a better way to communicate. All right. I don't want to get more into it. I hope you understand what I'm saying.
So what? Like, I'm gonna act like you know, when I went to play Dominic in chess, you know, we see we had millions, unlimited amounts of books. You know what the first book we saw? Kabbalah for Dummies. Should we make Cage for Dummies or something? Make it a bit easier to
I'll
digest.
probably buy it, yes.
Reader's Digest or something. There you go.
I think that's exactly what you do. My kid's a really smart kid, but it started with me trying to break things like quantum physics down into the terms of, I don't know, 6 years old when she had a million questions about shit like that. So I can't talk to him like I'm talking to you about the shit. I can't tell her what the LHC over there does so and so. I have to break it down. There's a big machine that spins, but because it's important to me, I take the time to do so and so for dummies, as you called it. Yeah, you love that motherfucker. You'll write that book for dummies. Yeah.
Well, yeah, like when I was talking to Masons, right? Like I was talking to some high level Masons. Like, no offense, Cage, you should read Freemasonry for Dummies. Like, no offense, you know, it's just in the name, but there is good information in it. You know, just because it says for dummies, most people are gonna just completely glance over it. I don't want to read something for dummies.
Well, I think the key is for us to have clarity in what we're trying to share.
Let's
I
go.
mean,
Clarity first. Clarity first. Yeah, that's dope.
I have a question for Cage. Have you bought any of Orly Stewart's classes? I think
No,
she
I've
has.
never been in any person class before.
Yeah, it's an online course. It's like she's on motherofabominations.com and Cyber Witch on YouTube. I'm just wondering if you.
No, I haven't heard of that person.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I'm not like really a class goer. No.
What's up, Joe Cool? How you doing, bro?
I'm doing well. What's good, man?
I used to remember you coming on Primal Man's joint. I used to be on there, bro.
I don't remember Primal Man.
Hey,
but
Mike knows Cage. Mike, bro.
I know
you
Cage.
know, I do remember your fucking icon. I don't remember the name. Yes, Joe
Well, the
Cool.
name
We're raising
was-
the next generations of lovers and leaders.
The name was Where the Rabbit Hole Ends. You know what I'm saying?
But long time ago. That's crazy. That's before I met any of you guys. You know, I know.
Wait! You cannot be the
It's where the
guy-
rabbit hole ends.
Yeah.
You don't remember that?
You're not the cat who wore the bunny mask back in the day.
Yeah,
Or wore mask. No fucking way.
I didn't wear any masks.
No,
Okay,
Tim and his
all
wife.
right.
Him and the wife. They're good people.
I just I just have like icons and shit. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
Like,
All right.
you know what I mean? But yeah.
Or he doesn't wear a
masks.
mask and shit like that. You know.
Got a buddy used to wear a mask when he live streamed.
Where is it? A furry or something? You know, they call them furries or some shit.
No, this cat is just from the face down, not the rest. Furries.
I'm just, you know, I've seen you around Primal Man, MD streams and shit. You know what I'm saying? Like all them folks over there.
I don't doubt it. I go everywhere. I fuck around and fucking with people who can barely speak English over there in fucking Taiwan or something. I don't know.
And I've had hour-long debates with Cage, maybe even night-long debates about all kinds of metaphysics and all kinds of fuckery.
Greatest in the world, ain't it, man? I
this guy
love
always
that.
randomly appears. I was thinking about you. I'm like, I knew you're gonna fucking appear eventually.
Yo, tell him, bro. I just pop out of nowhere like a fucking Baba Yaga, bro.
Fucking guy.
So,
Playing
was
whack-a-mole.
anything
with this
accomplished debating Cage on the esoteric?
No chance.
Because I can see Cage just arguing for days just because he likes to argue.
Of
We
course.
shared. Get out of your fucking. What do you call it, Jack? Get out of your
Imagination. That's
Cage is
Jack's
a
term.
Cage is a self-initiated and appointed Freemason. All right. Now you know, folks.
Self-appointed.
Yeah.
Self-initiated.
beyond.
He
He's
is
the
part
only
of-
one.
I'm beyond the 33rd.
He
That's
is
like low level shit.
he is part of the Illuminati of one. All right. It is his own organization, but he has indoctrinated himself completely
He's
all
totally
You can call me El
indoctrinated.
Cajo
throughout
for
the
short.
entire mystery
El
system.
Cagio. El Cagio.
Did you say the Illuminati?
Indoctrinated himself.
Like, yo, he studied the rituals and like basically he did like a Bugs Bunny, like who's on first base, who's on second base. He did all parts of the ritual. Would put on the different costumes and shit.
Bro, it was the ninth inning and I hit that shit. The bases were loaded. It was ninth.
Yo,
inning.
I was amazed when he picked himself up in the rug, right? And he was like, and now you are gonna raise Hiram Abiff.
Did you say Illuminati? Or the
When he went and
Illuminati?
flipped the switch on, bro. It was
Get
crazy.
bumped on the head, yeah.
Jack,
said
what's
he-
what's the topic today?
The topic is goals, and I wanted to discuss the line and what to do with wants versus needs, but Cage has already answered all that already.
No, he's done an extremely poor job of answering that.
I know,
said.
I agree.
know, but he didn't allow conversations on it either. So, hey, there is a question from the chat who's asking.
All right.
Cage does
What do
have
you-
a lot of knowledge. I will give him that. Yeah.
Hold on. Go ahead, Jack.
What do you guys think the goal of Freemasonry is? I would suggest it has, for those who are a part of it,
Yeah.
there's many different answers. To
You want to
that.
hear?
Very good, very good.
I'll give you one that you're allowed to hear.
Don't they say it in their
It's,
motto? Order
it's-
out of chaos.
No,
They wanna create
that's a 30
chaos?
that's not actual masonry. That's a concordant body of Scottish Rite masonry, which is not Scottish at all. It's actually French. But yeah, in the Scottish Rite, which is like the wrong name for it, really, is a concordant body, and yeah, the 33rd degree.
Scottish Rite
They're-
is actually Scottish.
No, it isn't. It's French. But either way, their thing, you know, their little motto is order out chaos. You're correct about that. But masonry, pretty much what it is this, okay? It's something called a rough ashlar, meaning like a rugged stone, right? And you have to,
Okay.
and through experience, you know, you're making it like a perfect form, right?
All right. I
You know,
understand.
so you're chipping
Cage.
away at it. You're sanding it down. You're making like a perfect fucking
Cage, I don't want to interrupt you, but the Battle of Bannockburn, all right, the Templars aided the Scottish, and that was the creation of the Scottish Rite. So I don't know what the fuck you're talking about. It's French, but
we can
it's
get
not.
into it. Like, that's a bit deeper. We can get into it. I'll send you a link and it'll explain it all. But yeah, that's actually, most people think that in Inverness or, you know, in Scotland, in Inverness, they call it Lodge 0 or 1, but it's not really the first lodge in Scottish Rite Masonry.
It didn't even exist till Albert Pike wrote the 33 degrees of it, but that's besides the point.
No, it goes a
The
bit
Scottish
deeper.
Rite comes from the Scottish lodges that were essentially in Scotland from the Templars founding them after the Battle of Bannockburn, where they helped them, you know what I'm saying?
Would
Yeah,
essentially they
Inverness-
not have been
Inverness,
against
Scotland.
like the religious, the tentacles that were being spread everywhere, and then throughout the years they just have been
Basically,
corrupted?
yo, Robert the Bruce was fighting King Henry, and he was gonna.
Wait.
fucking lose.
We don't need the origin. Well, there's a question on the table
It
already.
goes
We
way
don't.
beyond any of these.
We're gonna get the origin anyway.
Hold on, any of these modern countries or religions or languages, it goes way beyond that. It's the fundamental, right? You have the square and the compass. That's basically how you start the monad. The point of, you make a point and you create a circle around it. And then
How
you
many
make a
degrees
angle.
are in the compass?
The square is like a 90 degrees straight. Like it's
No,
always
the compass
ruler.
though. How many degrees is the
360.
compass?
360.
No. The compass itself in the Masonic icon. What
Oh,
is the
it's at a
measurement of the
43.
compass?
It's at 43 degrees or something.
No, it's 60 degrees. And if you measure the exterior, it's 66 degrees. 33 on each side.
Well, it depends which compass you're looking at.
The Masonic logo, bro.
The question was, why do you think people joined the Masons today? I don't think he was talking
There you
about in
go.
Albert Pike's
People-
days in
Right.
Scotland.
Well,
People
we are
join
doing
the
Mason Gate. People
Freemasons
waiting
for
left and right.
socioeconomic growth And the aim of Freemasonry is essentially a control system. But what they believe they're doing is they believe they're going to become a god without God. This is what
You
9/11
couldn't have answered.
symbolizes.
So,
Well,
but Joe
you're
Cool.
using the
Joe
argument.
Yeah,
Cool,
let
people
someone,
were
you
afraid of
answer
the
that
Masons.
greatly, bro.
Masonic
Let
Lodge
someone
got
else
shut
get a shot.
down. A couple of Masonic lodges near me got shut down within the past 5 years. So people weren't joining the Masons today. They're not doing the needful.
Why did people join the Masons? I'm not sure you answered this question.
They're not joining the Masons today.
No one's joining.
They're joining other groups for the same thing, but they're not joining the Masons.
All right, but pretty much what I was saying is this: the square and the compass are
It's all the same thing, bro.
tool. It's one of the most ancient tools they can find in any religion, any fucking place in the world. You'll find that. No,
Rosicrucians,
way beyond
Jesuits,
amazing.
witches, Freemasons. It's all the same shit, bro. It's all the same occult mystery religion teaching Luciferian Satanism.
No, it isn't.
Right.
It's about geometry.
No, it's not the
Point.
All the same.
Well, structure.
It's
Like,
not the
oh,
same.
you're on your phone talking about that. And someone had to create that for you.
I'm on a phone. What are you talking about?
Or computer. You're on the internet. You're on
What?
a thing. I'm saying someone had to create a structure in order to build these things that we're using to have this conversation.
They reverse engineered most of this
What?
shit. They didn't
Okay,
build none
what
of
is?
this.
Hey guys, what are we accomplishing? What are we unflushing here? Are we just reciting facts we've heard?
We're having two different
No, I
things.
know it's-
First, we have
We're
to-
having one conversation
I
about this
actually
shit,
know
and then we're having Rant and fucking Cage here having a dick measuring competition to see who
That's
know
what
about
I'm doing.
Masonry.
I don't give a fuck.
Yo,
That's what I'm
Jack
hearing.
I don't give a fuck
Talcott,
about
Joe
me.
Cool.
It has nothing to do with me.
The Machine Lies panel members. Do you think it's important to identify and separate intellectuals from pseudo-intellectuals?
I do
No.
it daily.
For what
I'd give it a
purpose?
shot.
We can call it a dick measuring contest, but I think it's important because if we're going to sit here and understand and listen to somebody's opinion and everything they're going to sit here and say, we have to
Not
first
my
find out if
opinion.
they are even
So-
thinking.
So,
Why,
so
well,
wait,
no,
I want
why
to
are
answer
we,
the
why
question.
are we
regurgitating
even
nonsense.
trying to understand and why? Let
Is their
alone
information
before we
correct
start trying
or
to
is it not?
determine the credibility of someone. Why
Well,
don't we figure out our purpose?
Because if I can identify that you're a liar, I could save myself an hour of listening to your bullshit.
Okay,
I
well,
wanna
let's
an-
come
I wanna
back
answer
to
the
the
question.
purpose of why I click go live.
Yeah,
I'm not sure
Okay,
what you're
it's
saying.
not to listen to you and fucking Cage compare your intellect.
Look, I just
I'm
got
trying
here.
to- hold
I
on,
said a
Mike,
few
Mike,
things.
please,
I don't know
okay.
what you're
I-
speaking about.
So, I want to answer the question.
You act like I was Cage ranting on your channel all
No,
night. That wasn't me.
You're not. And I realize that. Please let me back off because I am. I'm grouping you with Cage because I saw it continuing and I kept trying to ask what's going on and I'm being ignored here, Cage.
Jack, get out of your imagined
Hey,
disagreement.
Cage.
I need listen. I need a silver lined cloak,
Cage.
and maybe I'll be all right.
Cage.
So, I'm going to answer the question. So, no, I don't care about the separation between intellectuals and pseudo-intellectuals. I just want to see the best model. I just want to learn. I want you to explain. That's
Best
all.
model is creating your own. You build your own structure. You know, you can learn from other structures. They're all over. You know, they're everywhere. Look into nature. Look into reality. You create your own and then you implement it. Simple. It's all about you.
And everybody's got a different interpretation on what they've learned based on their experiences and their knowledge on that subject. So learning from everybody's different base is okay because not everybody's going to have things bang on. It's just their interpretation of what they think it is personally to their own experience and education on it.
I'm not sure the answer dude's pseudo-intellect question, but
It answered mine.
Well, you're saying what is pseudo intellect? Somebody who just parrots shit and has no real experience with it.
yeah,
Or-
I think he's talking about a motherfucker in the end of the conversation.
It's
I
someone-
live
I
this shit. I
feel.
make it happen. Guaranteed.
It's someone who like asks questions, right, about the subject that you're talking about. They're asking you like to prove, right, what you know. But they don't know anything in opposition. Like they can't provide you with any counterpoints. They just want you to prove it. And they
Flat Earth
deny
and shit.
they just deny what you say. They demand proof.
Yeah,
You know
you're
what I'm saying? And
pretty
like if
much-
all
pretty
else
much what it
fails,
is.
they'll just attack your
Somebody-
character.
somebody-
You know what I'm saying?
It's not a big
Somebody
deal.
thinks you know already, and they ask you a bunch of rhetorical questions they don't even want an answer for.
Yeah, they don't
They're already-
seek to know
their
the
mind's
truth.
already made up.
They already
don't start
know.
talking.
They just
Yeah.
want to prove you wrong to get a gotcha, to get that little dopamine hit.
Yeah.
That's a pseudo-intellect. They just
Yeah,
want
but-
the appearance of being intellectual.
So here's the thing. I don't worry about pseudo-intellectuals because all they're doing is giving me a chance to soapbox. I just run through my presentation because they'll just have just the FAQ questions. That's all they have. So I don't worry about pseudo-intellectuals at all.
I'm putting together a documentary on pseudo-intellectuals. I'll present it with everybody soon.
Okay.
Welcome, Maren.
I had to take the lasagna out the oven.
Hey, so I hate to interrupt at all or take us back about 20 minutes, but speaking of intellect or pseudo-intellect or knowledge or lack of knowledge, I'd like to drop in a couple scientific terms.
I'm
Drive.
sure you would.
Drive.
You must
Can I
have
finish
heard
the
us.
sentence? Yeah, no, I heard you on the way.
We put it out into the universe and you
drive,
summoned.
Hey, can you let him finish?
Sure.
Drive and incentive. So anthropological biologists study this as the reasoning for want and need. And those are the actual scientific terms for that. That's all I wanted to drop into as a little correction in terminology, which would be drive and incentive. For instance, an example, love as a feeling is a drive, whereas sex is an incentive, as example. So I just wanted to make that clear that I kind of felt like the conversation in general was being pulled off to things.
That was the conversation I was trying to have earlier. Yes.
Yes, sir. I heard that as well.
Thank you. And for myself, I didn't have, what was it? Drive and incentive. I had desires and intentions.
So is that like a force?
By the way, I'm sorry for interrupting you while you interrupted me.
No, thank.
So is that a force or an energy in physics?
We're not talking about physics. We're talking about anthropological biology. Well, the use of
Something, is that a
chemicals from the
force
brain.
or an energy? What are you talking about?
Force and energy is the same
Neither
thing.
applies in this situation. That is a misrepresentation or a misconnection there. If you want to talk about the ethereal of it, well, we're talking about you guys are talking about anthropological biology, meaning how the brain, how you as a human interpret your needs versus your desires. And need is drive, basically, and desire is incentive.
Yeah,
Those
it's
are
whatever the fuck we tell you, buddy.
All right, pal. So you basically don't call it authority or intellect, but okay, that you just admitted right there. So we can basically pull away your credibility. No, I mean, like you just did it to yourself. So I'm just pointing it out. I'm willing to pull away your credibility if you're not going to call to authority, science, knowledge, or any of that.
Time will tell. What about that?
No, the time doesn't tell these things. They are written. I can share with you. Time doesn't tell these things, man. Science does. Findings do.
TikTok. The grains.
What does that even mean? Are you coherently
Enough.
cogent, sir? I don't think you are.
No, right?
He's stupid. That's funny.
You do have a pattern, man, of just your
TikTok.
mind, your mouth moves, and it's like I don't know that your brain is engaged.
Just because you have a brain, doesn't mean you have to use it, Talcott.
Yeah.
Hey, Jack. He has a good brain and he knows exactly where he wants to go, but it's not important enough to him where he really wants you to understand it. He's content just dropping a couple jewels, and if you're thirsty, motherfucker, you'll follow those jewels and you'll find a treasure. He's content with that shit. He doesn't feel to explain himself. He has an idea, but it's not as important to him to explain it to you. But he does
but I can't.
have an idea.
No, Joe, you're correct in a way, but this stuff, it cannot be put into words. The English language is a spell. It's characterized as 26 characters for a reason. Look into Yod Vav, the tetragram.
And yet it's what we've got. It's a perfect.
It's done very purposely.
I mean, that's a
and it cannot
nihilistic
be
viewpoint.
expressed into
Okay, but
fucking-
Cage.
into words. Okay.
I understand. Most of these kind of things and concepts in their reality in their true form cannot be expressed. Like even some simple, Jesse, I love you. And I don't think I'm just bullshit. I absolutely love you. But words fail to do that, right? Motherfucker, I love apple pie. I love tacos. Is it the same thing? Words fail whenever you talk about greater concepts.
I love Talcott Tuesdays.
Yet I'd say though
Did you
that
say,
we do have.
did you say
we do
Taco
have-
Tuesdays?
Yeah,
Talcott Tuesday.
Talcott Tuesdays.
Great name. I do think though we have this both science, MCATs, CAT scans of many people's brains, the science behind it, and the structure and study that is peer reviewed repeatedly and repeatable across the
If I can get
all
a
sorts of sources.
if I can get a second, man, I talk about energy, Jack, and me and you talk about the energy joining your panel, blah blah. And some days you get that. This is my dope fiend energy shit right here. This is the group up here. I'm already I love this shit. And then Neuro Jack, he's another weird, twisted machine lies. This is like the perfect group of shit that I like, bro. I ain't gonna
I
bullshit.
agree. I agree. And let me just address this really quick because I tried to get in the chat. And so someone claimed to be an expert on Freemasonry, but he didn't give a clear answer of what the purpose of Freemasonry is.
I never
Isn't
said
it?
I was an expert. I said I did look into it a bit, though.
No. I mean, Cage said he's above a Freemason. Am I wrong about that?
Beyond
Well,
the
go ahead.
33,
They'll
yeah, that's like
distract, bro.
that's
Get
like
your
the
point
first.
out, Neuro Jack. You
I
will
think he
never
was
get it
playing
out.
with meme.
Yeah, I thought he was talking about you anyway. Yeah.
A number.
I was memeing saying he was self-initiated and shit. You know what I'm saying?
Oh,
He
I
was,
see.
he was
Okay.
playing into it. He was like,
So-
"Yeah,
But
we're 1 degree above 33."
Well,
You know, like,
I don't know much about it, but from what I've discovered, it seems that there is some element of the purpose being Freemasonry is to construct people's wants and needs for
Wait,
for a
hold on.
particular end.
I'm gonna
I
say something
love it.
quickly. Hold on,
Jack,
I'm
can
gonna
you
say
drop
something
his mic
quickly.
a hair? Is it just me? He's
May I
loud as
say
fuck.
something quickly, Joe, please?
I'm sorry.
Well,
Yeah.
can you address what I said? Is it the construction of people's wants and needs for a particular end? And what is that end, if so?
That's way beyond that. That's like low level type shit, right? The structure has to be there, the foundation. That's just building the foundation. But pretty much what it is this. Like,
Did
oh,
you even hear his
33,
answers,
30,
Cage? Did you hear his
hold on. You think
answer?
33 degrees high or whatever? Like, okay, I'll tell you what degree I am. I'll tell you right now, okay? How high can you count? You'll be there all fucking day counting out numbers forever. It's beyond numbers and shit. I'm telling you.
An arbitrary high degree.
Okay, but I'm asking what is the purpose
How high
for
can you
it?
count?
I'm asking what is the purpose? Are you saying it's about counting numbers forever?
Did you hear the
No,
purpose
I'm
he
not saying that.
suggested? Could you repeat that, Neuro Jack? You said something like taking other people's wants and needs and using them to your benefit. That sounds dead on the fucking Freemasonry to me. It was sheep to
That's
that's
them.
just dead on to any business
that's
or any
just
sort of
sorcery,
structure
though. That's
reality.
Yeah.
not necessarily the whole entirety of Freemasonry. That's just one aspect.
Rand, you
Sounds
said
like every aspect you can see
well,
perpetuated in every aspect of life. In any
well,
business,
Rand
any
said
culture.
Luciferianism. Rand said Luciferianism, and he tied it to
Luc-
Rosicrucianism and stuff like that. So I'm trying to understand, like, what is our
No.
basic?
That's not what I did. I said essentially the occult mystery religions can be found within Jesuits, Rosicrucians, Freemasons, witches, right?
Right.
And I think I also said something else, but it escapes me right now. The reality is that it's all the same system. It's Luciferian Satanism. Now,
What's the purpose, Rand? What's the purpose?
what is
They
the
call
purpose of
everything that's
what?
not.
Yeah,
They call
of this
everything that's not right hand path
Luciferian
Luciferian
system, if
Satanism.
there
It's
is
ridiculous.
a main purpose that you can describe, what is the purpose
Oh,
of these guys?
so essentially, in order to understand the purpose, we got to go back to Sumeria. All right.
Okay.
And essentially, in Sumeria, what we had these fallen beings that we like
Right.
to consider the sons of God, right?
Right.
Fallen angels, whatever. People want to consider them aliens. This is like a new word.
Anunnaki and that type. Yeah,
I
go
wouldn't
ahead.
even go as far as to say Anunnaki, because when you start saying that, then you get associated with the connotation that human beings was created by them, and that's not the case either.
Okay, that was just the word they used. The Sumerians used. But
I'm just saying
right.
that became famous with Zecharia Sitchin's work, and Zecharia
Yeah.
Sitchin is actually a shill, and he's not an
I
honest
would
researcher.
I would
So-
agree. That's all I can do. I'm trying not to divert. What is the purpose of these guys? And I'm with you.
So-
The Sumerians, they talked about
so,
the
all right.
Inky and them. Yeah,
Well, I'm going to break it down for you. The Sumerians, essentially, right, were these fallen beings that people referred to as gods, right? And you'll find them in all the ancient cultures. Now,
Yes.
what they did was, at a certain point, they hybridized mankind, which already existed, and themselves, and also animals, into beings that we would refer to as the Nephilim, giants and mythological creatures. So the purpose of what they were doing essentially was they were controlling humanity, enslaving humanity. And at one point they achieved this through technology. It was a worldwide.
Sounds like Neurojack was right on. Sounds like you're about to fall into Neurojack's lap with the rest of this sentence.
It gets a little deeper. You know what I'm saying? Because like I said, the object of the Mason is to become their own god, right? To become a god. But they want to do this without God. It's the symbology of 9/11 explains it in the Hebrew Sephiroth, right, of the Kabbalah.
Are you trying to?
I'm explaining it. It's a lot of years of research that I'm trying to compact into a very digestible form for you. I promise. It's the
So
most
far,
summarized.
I'm with you, but God, it seems like there had to be a quicker way. But go ahead. I'm gonna shut up.
It's important, and it's all relative to the mind control system. So the Hebrew Sephiroth, right, has 10 Sephiroth going up the tree of life, and going below it in reverse, you have the tree of knowledge, which is essentially the 10 Sephiroth of the demons that rule over each one of those spheres of influence. Now going vertically upward.
Again, Mike? The Kelpoth or something like that?
I don't have the exact terminology for the tree of knowledge currently. It's like Kalmutha, whatever, something like that. But
well, in the tree that we're showing, right? It's Malkuth is at the bottom.
Yeah, there's two different trees.
You have Keter at the top, meaning the crown.
Right. My point is, you got 10
Les
Sephiroth
with the
going
dick
up.
measuring shit, guys. You're both brilliant. Please answer the question.
So my point is, you got the 10 Sephiroth going up, right? And the Masons claim that there's not just the Masons, but the Kabbalists even claim that there's an 11th Sephiroth, right, of godhood. And God is the 10th Sephiroth. So 9/11 symbology that you find always in the occult here, putting out in the world, is they want to go from 9 straight to 11, skipping God. You understand? They want to bypass God. This is what 9/11 means. Okay. And Hank, you could shake your head, but you are a Walmart metaphysicist, alchemist / you know what I'm saying, pseudo-intellect. So you can shake your head all you want.
I'm an idiot.
That's what it means.
I
didn't say you're an idiot.
But
I didn't say you were an idiot. I'm just saying I am 100% certain of this. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, you're 100% certain of this never spawned.
Like you're wearing a fedora.
Questions.
You know what I mean?
Can you?
What does that mean?
Allow some pressing back.
If you have any occult knowledge, you'll know the fedora stands for the Black Cube Control System Matrix.
Yes, that's
what it literally. It stands for Saturn.
These are intense leaps in logic, my friend. I hate to tell you this.
Well,
as somebody who has followed symbolism around the world, knocking on doors myself.
So why does the worshipful master of the Freemason Lodge, who is the highest rank in each lodge, wear a fedora? Explain
now.
That to me.
You're about to jump to a whole conclusion.
Okay. Tell me,
please. Aaron and Rant, please. Hank has been patient. He said he had some feedback. Before you jump in, Aaron, please.
Absolutely.
Hank, go ahead.
So basically what Rant is saying, I want to summarize what Rant's saying from my perspective.
Very good. This is going to be great.
Yes. So basically, Rant and other Abrahamist slave of Yahweh right-hand pathers are mad at the witches, the Masons, whatever, because they don't want to be as slaves to Yahweh as much as they do, and they want to punish us for not getting with their program. So they're making all kinds of BS up. They're saying that we worship Yahweh's what's it called, prison warden, instead of Yahweh, instead of all other gods that part of Elohim, and just say it's bad. They just make shit up after that.
I was not expecting you to go there. You're saying that it's a whole summary about the Sumerians and Anunnaki and
hold on,
you're
guys.
saying
You guys are gonna make fucking Jack pop a blood vessel over here or something. Okay. Jack,
go ahead, Jack. I wasn't looking. Go ahead, Jack.
No, it's fine. I'm trying to understand where we're at. I mean, was that an accurate feedback of what Rant had said?
I was trying to see. I think he was trying to.
I think Joe was recapping what Hank was saying, but I don't know how accurate that was.
I think he was. Yeah, he was saying that that whole thing about the Sumerians. All that is a psyop to trick you out of worshiping God. I think that's what Hank was just saying.
And I'm gonna go. Obviously, it's called history for a reason. Somebody's story that they wrote, and they burned all the books that went against their narrative.
Yeah, these tablets still
And that's the
exist.
Library
We
of
got
Alexandria.
the Sumerian
So
tablets.
what they
It's
do is
just
the
the
narrative
artwork
that's
still
being pushed
exists.
on the people. Do not question everything. Don't believe anything that somebody's telling you or some sort of fucking outside information gave to you.
Yo, here's the reality, right?
It
took me a long time to do the research that I've done. I could put it all out there for you, right? But at the end of the day, if you rather listen to fucking Aaron and Hank about what's going on in Cage, then I'll just sit here because I'm not a prostitute. You feel me?
So the what you're trying to suggest is that nobody else on the panel is as well read as you. You have yet to subject any of us to your actual evidence. So I would ask for your evidence to prove some of these things that you're establishing, because I would say they're misrepresentation.
Look it up.
It's not up to me to provide that. That's up to you to.
No, I'm saying look it up.
Listen.
What I would bring up would
heard everything he said. I've read and heard everything he heard. He said he's not making that shit up. I've read and heard the same shit.
So my other question would be,
what you don't understand is that he has the truth. It doesn't matter if his story doesn't make any sense. He has the truth, so we have to believe him, and we have to be
Here's
safe
what
with
it
his
is.
dog.
He's saying, wait, hold on. Is Hank saying that he's given the trust me, bro? I don't think so. I think he's.
I have
earnest.
beliefs.
I think he's
right?
earnest. Yeah,
I have beliefs, and at the end of the day, right, some of my beliefs are unprovable. For one of them, like you can't prove God exists, right? So at the end of the day, right, these are things that I know. I can't prove to you. What do you want me to tell you? You want me to tell you what I know, or you want to just fucking debate about it?
The difference would be, and this is not to challenge you in this, but just that I would come to the table with, like, I just put up the sacredtext.com, which is basically the library of everything that we have of sacred text. You know,
that's what you
everything he said is written is basic.
Aaron, what did you come here?
Hold on, let me finish the sentence. You guys really want to?
Tell everyone
I already
on the
want to
panel
speak.
what
Let
you
me
brought
finish.
here.
So I'm just making an example of if I'm going to actually argue against this or argue this point, I would put forth some kind of example, and that's all the only thing I would be asking for, and I'm not even challenging you on it.
Aaron, you tell us what happened. Start with the Sumerians.
Well, that's actually I disagree with you on the history of that.
I'll debate you. You tell me what happened. If I'm wrong, tell me what happened from the beginning. Let's go.
Oh man,
I'll even let you look it up.
Hold on, Jack is about to have a blood pressure problem.
What is the purpose, Rant? Are you just up here comparing intellectual penis size? I mean, serious.
No, you wanted to know something. I was going to provide what you wanted to know, and
he's giving it to us, Jack. But he's got to drip arrogance. It's part of the process. Right. He's giving it to us, but he's gonna pull a Paul and put everybody down in the process. Right. I'm okay with it because I want to.
That's not exactly what it is.
The arrogance and the insulting rhetoric towards the rest of the panel.
It's just funny.
Go ahead.
Have you guys ever heard that a man who does not have sufficient knowledge about a subject should remain quiet?
I've heard that. Yeah.
Have you ever heard
that? Most men should remain quiet.
Yeah, agree.
My favorite version is Doofy Nofa say. By the way,
it's not that no one should ever talk. It's that if you want to know something, I can break it down for you. The explanation is highly fucking intricate. You have to understand that. And for me to even begin to compress it is a challenge in itself. Now you want me to do that while debating every fucking aspect of that explanation. You're making my job impossible. And the fact that all you did was come up here to do just that shows that you are a pseudo-intellectual by textbook definition.
Actually,
since you have no information,
I don't know anything at all.
If you know, that is what I'm telling you. If you know, then tell us, Hank. Tell us, Aaron. Tell us, Cage. From the beginning, start with the creation of the world.
With the topic that was being discussed. And actually, the pseudo-intellectualism is driving a conversation away from its topic point. That would be pseudo-intellectualism. Intellectualism is bringing it back to its topic point, which in this case is incentive and
Did you
drive.
hear dude's point though? He is saying that, and I'm
Hold on,
sorry to
I can
recap
explain
him
this
putting you down,
exactly
but
what
he
he
is
said.
saying that you can come up here to have a sincere conversation because you don't even understand these fucking terms and phrases. He's
Hold
saying
on.
you came
I'm
up
gonna
in
explain it to you
insincerity.
guys
It's
quickly. Hold
beautiful.
on, everybody. Hold on, Joe, for a minute.
Except he being
At
correct.
the beginning, there was a Talcott.
In the
And then,
beginning, that was a
and then
Talcott.
everything else is history.
Aaron, I saw you on a stream the other day. I saw
There's
you
always a
supporting
doubt.
an argument with information that was inaccurate, and I almost believed that you were aware of this and you were poisoning the
Ooh,
truth.
more
I would never do
Interesting.
that. I would
more
never look something up.
Great
accusations of the
In the
misrepresentation of
moment,
the
in the
moment,
moment that I look
and
it
I'm
up,
sorry you took
Aaron,
it that way.
in
But
the
that's not
moment
how
that
it
I
went down.
look it up,
Hold
Aaron,
on, Aaron. Hold
okay?
on, Aaron.
Oh,
In the moment that
okay.
I look it up, I
Aaron,
would
hold
not
on,
sit there and
Aaron.
try to
So
lecture
once
people on
again,
information that I
pseudo-intellectuals
just
attack the
Googled
person,
One
without
at a
even
time.
reading
and
it
not the
fully.
topic.
All right,
Okay.
let
That's what
Aaron
I'm saying,
respond.
Aaron.
All right,
No,
let Aaron
very
respond.
simply, if you want to talk about pseudo-intellectual, that's attacking the person, not the topic. Once again, our topic is drive and incentive, or what was it? Want and I'm sorry, your
Need,
initial
Want
want
and
and,
need.
and
Yeah.
need.
you
Do
need.
we
So
argue with people
are
who
you
are full of shit?
are you literally just going to bring it to a personal
The
point
truth is
where
all we have,
no
Aaron.
let me
Anyone who
actually
would
specify.
poison
If
the
you want to
truth
talk
is an
about the other
enemy.
day, it has nothing to do with poisoning truth. It has
It's
to
not
do with
about
the
you as a
information that I
person.
reviewed,
It's about
and
your
then
actions.
ignoring the admission that yes, in fact, there was no. And
It's
I'm the one
about
who
your
said it.
actions,
I said
Aaron.
actually, I said the person was correct. That there was
I'm
no
just
state
saying.
information, and I actually mentioned, which I was totally talked over, just like you're talking over now, waiting to
Did
say
you
something.
know that I knew
So
that,
let me
Aaron?
finish. My
Amen.
point is that
Did you know that
there
I
was
knew
also
that?
information. Hold on. There's also information that was missing that I said was missing from this, and we should tabulate the rest of it. Now, the fact that you would omit that is a lie.
Did you know
by
that I knew
omission.
that about you, Aaron, that you're a truth poisoner?
Actually, what I am is more factual than you could possibly admit to, simply because
I
you
don't
don't want
Are
to.
you
poison the
saying?
truth.
I'm curious.
That's not
Are
very
you saying he's a
factual.
truth poisoner by mistake or intentionally? Which are
I'm
you
saying
saying?
he's a truth poisoner because he's a pseudo-intellect who is
Because
trying
he
to
doesn't
bolster
really
his
know. Blah blah
appearance
blah. All right.
with the appearance
I'm
of
hearing
knowing.
some
That's why he's the
projection
lookup, because he doesn't
Yeah, there's a lot
actually
of projection.
fucking know.
You know
The
what?
guy who has
I'm gonna
provided
take
no evidence.
just a small little break from the pattern that has been. How you doing? The machine lies. You've been patient and silent, and you're one of the wisest men on this panel. In my opinion. My opinion.
I'm having a interesting day, and I mean, actually, I want to say that I really respect Dominic, and also Cage, and also Bunny, and Aaron, and some of the other characters that we have on the panel. So it's good to have a conversation with them. But in terms of wants and needs, I know that we live in an era where people have a lot of artificial needs and contrived sense of wants, and we're told to focus on the task instead of the goal. But
Ooh.
but also it's hard to do that when there's you know um I guess prepackaged, or you know I guess universal means in terms of technology. And I think that that is one of the things that you know if you look at a machine, it accomplishes a certain end for us, and that end is always the same. But in terms of human effort, you could have a goal, but every time you make something, it's going to be different. So there's a thing when nature produces, that it produces a multiplied ends, for the same uh, for the same purpose or design. So when nature has needs, it produces without goals, essentially. So I think it's important to realize that technology, it specializes means for a specific end, but nature, I guess it simplifies means for a plethora of ends. just like a stream. You know, a stream is there, and you know, it's there. I mean, a stream doesn't have one particular purpose. You know, it accomplishes many different ends, you know, by simplifying the means that it uses around it. So it works within the designs around it. So, you know, nature is different from technology in that way.
I'm trying to follow what you're saying. You get deep and pretty profound, brother, but I think what you're saying is with the nature, the way it works isn't as concerned with the goals as much as just the need. Is that right? I mean, it's fulfilling many needs in one action, I think is what I heard from you. But hey,
yeah, because one of the goals of technological means is efficiency. And
yes.
that goal is circular, because you could have efficiency for the sake of efficiency. And you know, you can go on improving, you know, without any purpose or end, you know, that's used, you know, so it doesn't serve any human end, in other words.
Amen. Hey, I think that was a beautiful intermission. I'm going to bring folks back up. Okay. I appreciate you, Machine Lies, and I don't mean to be rude.
No, you weren't. The Machine Lies. That was great. That was beautiful.
Yeah,
I'm
that was.
so glad you did it.
Jack,
I think
I'm
that
sorry to
one
interrupt,
second.
bro.
Thank you. One
Sorry.
second. Yeah, the thing, Machine Lies, and I think you recapped him well, Jack. But the one thing that I think he was also saying is that that we are encouraged to follow a certain way to get there. What we think our wants and needs are determined by, because of the existing technologies we have. It determines our wants and needs. That was a part of it. But nature has different plans. But it seems like he started off in the our wants and needs are, everybody think we are determined by the technology and the things that are structured. But we are encouraged to follow the path, not the goal, I think is where he went with it. And then it went another direction.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And there's a lot of science to provide support for that, where our desires or our drive, our drives are undermined by our desires, but never overridden, meaning that we have these wants, we want to follow them, but our drives will always override them. In a sane mind. And there's a thing that you know, I wrote, drives always override chemical incentives backstage in MCAT scans. There's a lot of provided information for that to show that that's a case. So, and by the way, Jack, what I was going to say is I'm here to talk about your topic, and I'm not interested in talking about conspiracy or anything like that. I go on other panels for that. So that's the other thing is I get bothered by that, because I don't really I try not to take part in panels that get too far off, and I'll jump out. So it's nothing against you.
Hold on. What do you mean by conspiracy, though?
Well, as soon as you start to connect dots that aren't associated to the actual topic, or to the disrespect of the rest of the panel for the topics, in any way, shape, or form, I'm just not interested anymore. That's why I don't do the Twitch poll bullshit. I don't do any of that.
Because you lack the knowledge to connect dots.
No, I have no interest in it. And I could actually probably trounce your knowledge by holding your hand and walking you into the venues.
Listen, Aaron, I'm sorry, I don't have
but you
10 years to
wouldn't be
teach you
even
everything you should
on the
already
door.
know by being a woke person.
It has nothing to do with woke, sir.
Maybe you're fake woke,
and no,
What are
it
we
has nothing to do with
doing?
that. And that's no, Jack.
Aaron, you ever think you
I'm here to have a
Matrix
discussion about
and still be
desire,
in the Matrix?
drive,
Right.
and he's talking about the Matrix.
Think about it.
Well,
Wake up from the Matrix, still be in the Matrix, bro.
It's all beautiful. And Aaron, it's all beautiful. It's all beautiful. You arguing about the conspiracy shit. These niggas saying conspiracy shit. It's all beautiful to me, bro.
Keep up the goy talk. You better know your position, bro.
Wow. All right. Now he's calling people goy.
I don't know what that is.
It's a derogatory term.
It means cattle in Hebrew.
It actually is. Yeah, it's non-productive, and that's the whole point that I was actually trying to make, is to bring it to a productive point of like saying, hey,
means
the
slave,
science
bro.
terms are
Did you
drive.
come up with these like theories before or after you got your nails done? You know?
And
What the fuck does that have
What
to do with
what
us,
the hell
guys?
You're gonna wear a dress and shit at this point. You might as
What
well.
are you doing, dude? Seriously.
yeah, I
What
don't
a
know
roast,
if
sir.
I don't know if the cat wears a dress and all that shit, but that would be.
No, that's only on Tuesdays. Talcott Tuesdays.
Oh
What the,
fuck!
what the fuck are you guys doing over here?
Hey, so how are you?
Dude, I turned my back and you guys are all hiding in the closet with Jack over here.
Yep.
This is a closet. This is hiding. The fuck?
I thought I was hiding in the closet, Sam.
Whatever, man. What's going on?
What's good, bro?
Good morning, Cecil.
My thing is, Jack, frankly, is that it's hard to have a productive discussion about the topics that you're having when you have people that aren't interested in the topic. That's my thing now at this point.
Well, I don't know about all that. I was very interested. I was loving
Well,
this
you are,
shit.
Joe. You take part. You engage. You will bring it back to the topic. You know, Machine does. Hank does. You know, Cage tends to. You know, so
You know what, Aaron? What's best for humanity is we go back to talking about things that, you know, won't affect humanity.
So you're telling me that the actual understanding of desire, drive, and or incentive, the difference isn't as important as your ideas about Sumeria.
What I'm saying is your understanding of it isn't important because it's fake.
No, sir. Actually, I have a lot of example of how I bring substantive information to the table as much as possible, admit when I'm fallible, but you have yet to do so in any way, shape, or form.
Are you offended by my beliefs, Aaron?
No, not at all. I expect that everybody has their own. And I expect that everybody
I can sit here, right? I could run OBS, put a little lookup icon. I could pull up statistic data that'll tell you that the jab is actually good for you. Okay.
This is true, and you
would
can pull up
believe
the
me?
opposite too, right?
Sure,
believe me?
absolutely. I would actually,
Okay.
if it
I'm on
provided
my
the
ninth
information, yeah, I'd
vaccination
actually
and I
find
have a smile.
validation in it. See,
I
that's
could
the other thing
also
is you
pick up-
assume
I-
lack
I
of
could also
validation,
get-
which calls to no authority, sir. And
I
that
could
is the
also
problem
get
with the
some
argumentation.
white papers for you, right? Of some medical doctors telling you it's good to wear face masks. 2 of them.
Hey,
Of
what is
course,
the
of course.
2 of them.
What
Good.
is, I mean,
Scientifically proven
Is
by
is there
doctors.
any
His point is
relevance
that he's
to
smarter
this
than everyone else.
moment, this
No, my point is,
stream?
I can
They
prove
obviously have a
things to
history,
you.
right? They're
I'm
on
seeing
some
that, but
personal
that
shit.
history is not my
No.
problem.
I have
Yeah.
no
I have no
history with this
person.
man.
I don't even
but
know
what
who
I'm
he
saying
is.
Hold
is,
on, everyone's talking over each other. Let Jack talk.
what I'm saying is, I could literally provide evidence
Jack
that
was
you would
trying to say
accept
something.
that would
You're
be false.
interrupting him.
Thank you, Cage.
Sorry.
Well, rant, please. I'll admit.
How about this? I'm gonna leave. Have a great night.
All
God
right, Bees,
bless
it
you.
was great, good having you.
That's fine. With Jack, what
I
were you saying?
appreciate it.
What are you trying to say there, bud? I'm trying to.
He was
listen.
trying to say, why the fuck is y'all personal shit? You got to do with what the fuck is going on, and he was accurate. You guys was mad at each other over him. He saw you in a room and he think you lied and you're battling fucking his accusations, man. Nobody care about that shit.
Exactly, sir.
Personal
I have
shit.
no idea what you guys are talking
And
about.
I don't know him. He's
Either
just
Were
way,
you not paying attention, Cage?
not to that. I only pay attention to things of importance.
yeah. That's why I like you, Cage.
Hey, perfect. Perfect. This shows that you're detached from my reality because I actually care about what's going on this panel and this stream. And so the fact that you didn't pay attention, you're not aware of what my issue is with it, shows, Cage, I'm
beyond aware, Talcott. I know how it is. Okay, I'm beyond aware of this whole play. This is easy. Okay.
I know it is.
Grab your fucking compass and square and start making geometry. Enough of that.
No. What is the point of you saying shit like that?
You know he won't grasp exactly what you mean, and you won't provide him a more substantive definition. That's chaotic.
He will eventually, though.
Yes, 20 years from now, he's gonna be like, so fuck Cage was talking about. It won't be useful then.
What do you mean?
Contrarian
Yeah,
to the call to authority is a problem that we face in a lot of these panels.
It's like this. Sorry, brother. It's like this. It's like a cocoon, right? Or the cage, whatever you want to call it. It's like a cocoon. It's like if I tried to prematurely cut you out of your cocoon, it's going to be a glob of nothingness. You know what I mean? You have to let that motherfucker develop by itself. So, Joe knows about it.
There is a truth to that. I'm not denying what you're saying. It's just, Cage, for the love of God, dude.
What, you want spoilers? Should I do some spoilers?
No, Cage, what I would love for
No.
you to do is to have some self-control and increase your awareness, your situational
You don't know
awareness.
what you're doing,
Realize
Jack. You have no clue.
realize that every thought that comes into your head is not fucking necessary to share, particularly when you're sharing a panel with other people.
Jack,
okay?
Jack, just because you have a
That wasn't bad,
to use it.
Okay, I want to jump back in here. I want to jump back in just very briefly and say, okay, let's get back to the wants and needs. Okay, but let's say, let me ask this. How do we know what is our own wants and our own needs? How do we really ascertain what is our wants and our needs as an individual, number one? And how do we extrapolate that out into our greater society? Because we seem to be skipping over
That's dope.
my whole topic, which is directly related to this, but let's just get back into that.
Yeah.
Thank you.
All right. Anybody but Cage. Okay. Anybody but
I'm not
Cage?
Cage. I'll go.
No Cage.
So-
Let somebody else go.
Yeah, so since I'm not Cage, so how I discern from wants and needs, I listen to myself, I journal a little bit, I don't get obsessed with it, but basically I have to feel my own body just to figure out where I am and where everyone else begins. And that's how I can put a barrier up to just figure out what my wants and what other people's wants. And I have to
lucky
train that
you,
every
lucky
day.
you're not Cage.
I would actually say that there is a lot of confusion in general in any one human. I've been looking at studies of this for a long time over love, and the difference between desire, love, sexuality, this kind of stuff. There is a lot of confusion as to what is the imperative based off of culture, what your friends and your families tell you is the imperative for love. And there's a lot of confusion as to what the feelings we have are, whether they're truth or not. And this comes back to the fact that some people just simply will not initiate to their drives chemically, and they'll fight them. So I would say that, culture and the outside world stimuli does have an impact on these experiences, and that some people are very confused by what they're told.
Aaron,
that's what Jack was saying.
Aaron,
Neuro
are
Jack
you on
was saying.
pharmaceutical drugs, buddy?
No.
Sure?
I should be. I'm on a 90-day cleanse.
So you were on them, and now you're cleansing.
No, I smoke weed at the most.
No,
I'm actually quitting cigarettes too.
You have a cat? I guarantee you have a cat.
I have a number of animals, and the neighborhood animals all come to me.
Do you have a cat? Yes or no? You're avoiding.
I have two of them. Yeah.
Of
and
course
a dog.
you do.
Nice
and
dog.
you're also on pharmaceutical drugs that are detoxing.
No, I am absolutely not, and never have been. But
It's
thank
getting
you for,
personal,
I just
Cage.
spread word around there for no apparent reason other than slander, sir. It sounds like you may have do you have a problem with drugs? I mean, this is all.
Y'all wasting my fucking time now.
Why is Cage being all Haiti?
It's in his nature, but
Bro,
why
you need Hades out of it.
I don't know.
Okay, that was a good bad joke.
Well, here's the thing. Rant was more on topic than all this, so let's get back to the topic.
Yeah, but he was unbearable.
Okay, but okay. Well, the whole topic is about.
I don't even know what the topic is.
Being manipulated into believing something is our own wants and needs or not.
That was
Jack,
dope, right?
Can we let Lou on here? A voice of reason.
Yeah, and my personal take was we do have influences from the outside. There are people that are confused by that, and it is something that can override your chemical desire or drives. Both sides, that your logic will, can override it because of culture or surroundings. That was my point.
You get it? We don't even know what our wants and needs are. Neurojack broke it down. We don't know if it's ours, and as Aaron was just saying, and we don't know how much of what we think we want and need is because culture tells us what we want and need. It's confusing as fuck. And how do you decide what is a want and need anymore?
Hold on, Neuro. Can you please state your question? The last question. Are we being manipulated into what now? What was the question?
Yeah. How do we judge whether or not we are being manipulated into what our wants and our needs are, either A, as an individual, or B, as a society, or C, whatever other category you want to bring up?
Well, it goes back to the old Jack saying, get out of your imagined disagreements, okay?
I've known
They get Jack nodding and stuff.
I've known law enforcement and security guards that were basically like trained to, when dealing with people, especially intoxicated people, to try to manipulate them into thinking that they were what they were, like they're like guiding them, right?
To
But
tell them what they want or need. They're manipulating them.
but to word it in a way so that they believe that it's actually their decision.
Right, I understand.
And if cops are smart enough to do that, then definitely our handlers are. The answer to this question is absolutely. Edward Bernays wrote the book 100 years ago, Propaganda.
But the
Just, there you
cops are
go.
low-level pawns and shit.
Based
You
example.
think the cops are anything compared to the real people pulling the strings?
I
and shit?
consider
It's the
myself
dark
quite
politics.
based.
The cops are nothing.
So what I'm asking really is, what is our methodology, A, for discerning that, and B, our methodology for avoiding undue, influence on us without our consent?
I would say most of us love and wallow in giving our consent and letting other people determine our wants and needs, and we are happy with it. It's the rare man who even fucking examines what he really needs, right? Because then you're not living life. You don't need that gold chain. You don't need these fucking Black and Miles and weed, Joe. You don't need none of this shit. No one wants to face that shit. I'd rather be Joe Cool on social media smoking weed all day.
Do you still want the thing if nobody will ever see you with it?
Well, what do you need to do?
That
You
was
need to be
dope,
able.
bro. That's dope.
Yeah, you need to be able to walk around. You have your legs and your arms. You can use them.
Did you hear his question?
You can do all these different things.
Cage, I just dropped a gem on you, and you're so excited to hear yourself talk again about some esoteric nonsense to pump up your ego. You missed
He
it.
is saying that's a great starting place.
Joe,
What if other people weren't around to watch you with this thing? Do you really need that fucking Bugatti? Yes, it makes me feel better. What if other people weren't around to see it? Oh, fuck, a Toyota would have been fine and a lot cheaper. It's a
Ding,
good
ding.
starting point.
Well, it's because you're buying things, material things, or your vehicle, which is pretty pertinent point, right? Your vehicle, you're going to travel around and put yourself into the vehicle. Yeah, if you're buying it for other people, what the fuck are you
Right.
doing? You can buy something nice for yourself, though.
But is that a drive, really? Is that a drive, or is that just an incentive?
What do you
at that
mean? It's
point?
just easy. That's nothing. That's a basic.
So it's incentive.
No, here, that's an interesting. We're tying in a bunch of different ideas here, and it's kind of getting interesting. The idea of a
You're
man buying an
welcome.
expensive car, there's a drive behind it. I mean, the incentive is the car. Why? Because it gets the attention, ideally, probably the opposite gender or the ideal mating gender, and so the drive behind the superficial need, it's peacocking in that case.
Well, that's what most people, because they're doing it not for themselves, but for for the perspective of other people.
Yeah, and the key is recognizing that a lot of those peacocking ideas, they come from the world outside of us. It doesn't really have anything to do with who we are or what is true for us.
That's not necessarily true.
You don't think so?
It taps into the social nature of humans, right? So it
Okay.
hijacks something that is inherently part of all of us, including you, Cage. Even though you like to
No, not
peacock by
everybody.
pretending like you're too cool for that shit.
Right.
What do you mean? That's not what it is. It's just like, I'm going to focus on what's valuable and what serves the people.
And right now you're
around me.
focusing on peacocking that you're not affected by the world around you. You're full of
Well,
shit.
no,
You're peacocking.
Like,
you're proving
I
it right
know
now.
people, for example, back to the car example.
I yield.
I know people, like, when I was growing up, and they have hundreds of millions of dollars and shit. And you know what they drive? They drive like an old Toyota, an old Camry, whatever, and shop at Value Village, which is like a secondhand store. You never fucking know what these people have. So it's like, yeah, not everybody's out for it, to impress other people and shit. It has nothing to do with you.
Yeah, they want to use their money for influence, not for peacocking. They
Yeah, we're gonna get shit done properly.
That's the same thing.
No, I was just gonna say they prioritize their wants versus needs. That's kind of what I'm getting at.
I'd like to throw kind of a different branch into this conversation.
Okay.
Trying to get our minds into the future. How many up here have what they would consider clear goals for the future? Clear goals and identified by today's wants and needs or yesterday's wants and
My
needs.
shit's vague, Jack. My goals are like just to help someone else and like really vague shit. I don't know where I'll be or what I'll be doing, man. And my goals are vague.
Mine too. I think we're the same
Well, that's why you're
personality type,
never
so
gonna
we're more
go anywhere. Like,
opportunistic
you have no,
than
you don't have a proper
strategic,
plan.
right?
Yes,
You don't
I'm
know
okay
where
with
it's going.
opportunistic.
And
I
what do you
love
think
it.
you're gonna get in your
Or
life?
tactical as opposed to strategic.
Yes.
I would
Yes. Go ahead.
personally say, Jack, to answer that question, I have a combination of incentives and desires. I desire to complete my home and finish the battle with LA County over the completion of my home. So that's a desire. And I have an incentive to become more healthy in myself via practice and exercise and more reading things that are not on the net, and spend less time actually focusing on any of that stuff that is
None of those
Excuse
are
me,
specific or measurable, sir.
Excuse me before we go. Aaron, you say you're battling with LA County over the completion of your home. I have
Yeah.
friends in LA who love battling the government. Love it. I mean, if
Joe.
you need some help and publicity and shit, you should make sure you get in touch with me.
5.5 years in, man, I appreciate all the help. I literally talked to Sponge.
Get my number from Jack or something. I got some
Joe-
motherfuckers.
That
Joe
did
will get that
remind me
taken
of
care of
what
within a day. It's over.
Yes, they'll be scared to death of you.
They already
Sponge
kind of
that.
are, but they've been dragging me. So
Fascinating.
So yeah, I'm trying to better myself individually, but I also have an incentive to do other things. I think we're all a combination. I would gather, how I'm sorry, how I know that I just kind of succinctly put it, but when I think about it, there's so many other nebulous things I couldn't put my finger on that I am driving towards personally. How about anybody else?
I like it. I like it. I like it.
Okay, so
yes. Do you got? Go ahead. It looks like we all don't have crystal clear goals. Goals. The
mortgage
closest
is a
he
bitch,
came
huh,
was
buddy?
getting his house finished.
yes.
That's
So
interesting.
so right now I want to finish my Fedora 39 rollout. So I think I have 2 more laptops as a fixed one and 3 desktops that can go up to that level. And I think I'll order another desktop, and I need to draw out 3 desktops that are just too old to be used.
My favorite hat's the yellow one, Hank.
Yeah, it's everyone's favorite. I'm going to need to figure out how much power I need to ride through that setup there. So I need to go to the hardware store and talk to someone.
What about goals further out, Hank?
Yes.
And you can call your Masonic brothers to fix your computer for you. What about goals?
No, I
further out?
can't. I
They
can't
won't.
because I use Linux. They don't know what they're doing on
They
it.
don't.
Oh God.
But what about long
The
term?
Masons are really bad at technology.
Long term, 10 years
Yeah.
at
They're a
least.
bunch of
Hank.
boomers, though. Look,
I
Uncle
can't
Jack's
plan.
doing the sign of silence over there.
So I can't plan 10 years because things are too chaotic for me to plan that far ahead.
I like it.
So
I like it.
So right now, I try to plan no longer than a quarter.
You like me and flow with that shit. Yeah.
Maybe I can do a year plan, but that's still pretty long. Year plan had to be pretty vague. So I try to plan between a week and a quarter away.
Anything over a year seems just hubristic to even try to think that you control life that far out.
The same lies. Please answer a question for me. Do you have any goals over a year out?
I have a 100-year plan. I have a
In a
1,000-year plan.
year,
I have a plan that goes beyond time.
Yeah, in a year I'm trying to write another book. So that is a clear goal I have.
Okay, my man. My man.
But I have half of it already written. So yeah, but because it's gonna be like 99 pages, so it's not gonna be that long. So I think it's not I think really that goal is like probably 6 months to like 8 months.
It's already
and then
happened.
to get it to the publisher, it's gonna take like another few months. So then it's gonna be like, so that's like a
You're
year
gonna
long
publish another
process.
book,
That's
machine.
quick though. Let's see, well, that's quick, man.
Yeah. Machine,
Yeah,
you
but
already have a book?
Binder and everything.
I'm
but
sorry.
I already have it. Like I already have half of it written, so it's not really that
I understand.
long of a process. Yeah.
Machine, you already have a book that's published? I would love to
Yeah,
read
he
it.
does. He's gonna write a
Yeah.
second book apparently.
Yeah, I could send it to you, Aaron. Yeah.
Oh, I'd love
Yeah,
that, man. I'm
yeah.
always looking for something new to read.
I
What
didn't know
is
that
it
every
even
time
about?
anybody
Wait,
says
wait.
anything,
Do you
it's
know what
addressed
it's
to Cage.
about? It might be
Hold on,
about
Phil.
transgender
I don't care.
teenagers.
I
How
don't
do you
care.
know?
I'm always looking to read new things because I go through
It's
literature
about
very-
it's actually about a plethora of subjects. So I think I think
I
it
figured-
could have relevance for a lot of people.
Can I ask
Yeah,
Mr.
that's
A lot of
Talcott
different
a
types of
question,
people. Yeah.
please? Question for Mr. Talcott. What were you eating, Talcott?
Were you eating? I didn't
Cage,
even
why
see you
you
eating. I'm
interrupt
gonna say
that
ice cream.
conversation to ask an irrelevant question like that?
That's definitely relevant. You're chewing on something you're eating.
Jack, do you know why he would do that? I don't know. Nothing popped in my head. Normally 8 things pop in. Why did he interrupt to add to the conversation that was at flow to ask you that? Why would he do that? I'm
He's
curious. Yeah.
enjoying some type of
Probably
food. I'm
thought
wondering
it
what
was
it
a
was.
good idea to offer attention back to me for a moment.
Okay.
This is
I
a way
dig
of
it.
doing it.
I dig it. Jackie, you bright. Fuck you.
The goals, and actually, Machine Lies. If you want to talk, share what your book is about. Feel free. You were kind
Yes,
of getting
and I was more interested in other goals other than your book. I wanted to know, had I not thrown that year in there and said, "What are your goals?" What answers you would have gave. I was still interested too.
Yeah, I guess in terms of my whole scheme, I guess just talking to more people, I guess the same as you know, a lot of the same goals as Brother Talcott has, like talking to the people inside my community about like the ideas I have and trying to form like a local like correspond like instead of like online, like more just materialized, like, you know, in terms of, you know, on the ground level, you know, what the goals are here. And then also I think it would help have some impact online if we could get like some secretaries, some offices, or or some people on some computers that are like emailing some people, or, you know, like that might be like some of my goals. You know, maybe some people in some vans with some satellites, you know, maybe put 2 or 3 satellites up
Yeah, well,
that are
tapping and
transmitting.
shit, bro. We're in the fucking van and shit. We're out there. You know what I mean?
Cage would be a good secretary.
We'll use some Stingray technology.
Yeah,
You could call it an
Shoot bounce off
internship,
our
and you
phone.
wouldn't have to pay him then.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
I
we
don't
could
get
use,
paid in money.
Hey, buddy.
The money's
What do
not
you think
really
about
my
an
prerogative.
internship?
It's not my
yeah, we
prerogative.
could,
No.
yeah, we
It's
could
beyond
form
the
our
prerogative.
own yeah, we
Flow
could
State,
form
can you
our
pay me
own.
in BJ's?
Absolutely not. Absolutely not.
No deal.
And I didn't even offer you a job. But my daughter just
Hank,
walked out of the
Hank.
room with a weird look on her face. So
Hank, we're gonna fucking sacrifice you, buddy. We need your kidneys and your lungs. And apparently they still have pink inside of them. So,
I can get you some. I won't guarantee that they're mine.
all right, well, I'll take 2 of them.
Gotcha.
Oh, there you go. Well done. It's for Talcott, you know. It's for his adrenochrome drinking. You think
Adrenochrome.
Talcott looks that young for no reason? Come on.
The first time I heard about adrenochrome was that movie Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas.
Yeah,
You know what I'm talking about?
it's in the book as well.
Yeah.
I've never heard of that movie.
It's a really good
I've never
movie,
heard
bro.
of it either.
Crazy.
It's a really good movie.
I heard adrenochrome.
And you went and got some? Is that
All right, don't start fucking.
Who's
speaking
your
on them,
dealer?
man, now. Dude, you got some of that?
You got some of that?
I need that, man.
They
Fucking, I
selling
can't sit in my seat.
adrenochrome on the streets, boy.
Jack,
That
what
would
are
get
you?
chitty chitty bang bang, a whole totally
Jack,
different
what's in your
thing.
head?
Yeah. What are you thinking, and what are you moving towards? What are your examples?
Well, admittedly, right now, my mind is a little frustrated trying to figure out what do I do with Cage, because admittedly, Cage, in this stream, you've made it kind of pretty difficult for me to do what I want, since you can't control your damn mouth.
Yeah, you're definitely in one of those annoying moods,
I'll
Cage.
shut the fuck up now.
No, you won't.
Hey,
Jack, I'm interested in your goals, Jack, both short and long term.
You know, admittedly, I've got a ton of goals. But I'm wondering, the way you guys described it, I've become less rigid in my focus on my goals, and I have become more opportunistic.
Beautiful.
I don't actually, that's not what I encourage others to do, though. I
understand. I'd hate to give that advice too. I would hate to give that advice.
Hold on, Jack. I want to unleash the angry cop.
I thought you were about to shut the fuck up.
I thought that was you.
You lied, Cage.
I lied to you every time. Bro,
Aaron, get him. He lied.
He
already said it for himself.
It was literally the next gap in a conversation.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, now I'll shut the fuck up.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
It didn't work.
Well, what did you? I couldn't hear you. What were you saying?
Unleash the angry Jack. What were you saying?
Can we vote him off the island?
You guys are really gonna put me.
I vote you off the island, Cage. Straight off.
I'm gonna find the immunity.
Go talk to your Mason friends, or whatever the fuck you do. Your weirdo shit.
I have a very quick question. Do our goals relate more to our desires, or our wants, or our needs, or some combination of the two?
It's all desire at this point, right? We are all heathen sluts, whores at this point. It is all desire. You don't need 59 channels. I don't need 87 flavors of ice cream. You don't need none of this shit that we chase.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Here, actually, this is an interesting question that goes back to what I was saying earlier. The question I'm wondering for myself: wants and needs. We do and we do not need other people in our lives.
That's a tough one. You went to the only thing I think I can disagree with, because I don't know if we need other people. I think we do, just as the social animals that we are.
Yeah, we do. It's psychological health.
That type of shit. Yes, on that low level, I think we need it. Makes us healthy having other people. But please continue. And I'm sorry to fucking.
Yes.
Well, the other side of that is when we think we don't have what we need, it fucks us up inside. So I used to think I needed people in my life.
I hear where you're going.
I needed to get back with my son.
I dig it, baby. I dig it. Yes, I understand it now.
It's a want.
Yes. You need people in general, but the specific person isn't what you need. People in general.
The general is a need.
Yeah. Your son filled a need, which you'll find somewhere else. Blah blah, and you'll be able to continue. He's not the only source of whatever it is.
You guys are spot on. You're right. Generically, there is a need for people. My selfish want for an individual.
Yes, right. It's like the girlfriend to keep hanging.
You know why? If you want to go deep, Jack, you know why it's not working out for you in that manner?
Shut the fuck up, Cage. You're way past your shut the fuck up limit.
You shut the fuck up for a minute, please.
Everybody's tired of you, Cage.
What it is, Talcott, is you want or you need whatever your wants and needs are focused directly onto the ego. You don't want to help your. Okay, you want this relationships because of you.
Cage thinks he's Socrates. That's the problem.
Cage, you're wrong. No way. Cage, see, you're interrupting. You're taking over the conversation, and you're not even
completely wrong, right?
You are completely wrong.
And you're gay.
All right.
Well, here, what I heard you say is that I want those relationships for me. That's a partial truth. The majority of the truth is, I know for a fact, I'm being a responsible dad who fucked up. I know for a fact my son was not raised properly, and he was raised with some confusion in his mind, which got reinforced by other people. But I'm still a caring father, and I'm still of the belief that if I can speak to my son again, I can help his life improve as well.
Well, you said it.
Do you
Dominic,
want to have
weren't
this conversation
specific,
in
so you
post?
got it,
I don't know.
Dominic.
Huh?
And with Cage, you're not Socrates. Not every time somebody speaks on the panel are they asking you for your expert opinion on it.
Thank
Put
you.
on your goddamn hat.
Cage, this is a lesson for you. Please take this away from today. Okay?
I want to see the pontiff hat.
You show your signs of confusion when you think you have an answer for everything. Even in conversations unrelated to you, you interrupt because you think you've got an answer. Stop thinking your opinions are so important, please.
You're overcompensating. We can all see it.
And I don't mean to be rude, but
I
holy
do.
cows, man, I am getting frustrated. I have been frustrated today.
We need to summon the angry god.
Well, it's been a good lesson for me too. I don't think I've been real reactive. I think I'm doing all right.
You're doing all right.
Thank you.
We can see it simmering.
Jack, you're doing pretty much all right, but as soon as you get out of your imagined disagreements, then.
But can we
you'll be
just
doing
get
a
rid
lot
of Cage before you blow up and it ruins the whole fucking panel?
Yeah, don't let Cage
Like, just get the fuck rid of him.
him.
Cage, go sit in a fucking timeout. Everybody's tired of your bullshit.
Yeah.
I've only been here like 10 minutes and I'm already tired of your bullshit.
I think you should kick Flo off for that.
Can I interject this part? Sorry, go ahead. So go ahead, Cecil. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I just wanted to mention that like if you're constantly interrupting because you feel like you need to interject information that like is pertinent to the conversation, which is something that I'm guilty of myself sometimes, I guess that could kind of be excusable. But if you're interrupting to constantly show off and like talk about yourself and be a narcissist, you're like fucking Tommy and shit, dude. Like get the fuck out of here. You know, it's like you ain't that cool. I just wanted to say.
Hey, Neuro Jack, I think you were going to jump in with some.
Yeah, I just
briefly, though, I threw Cage to the back. If he'd have stayed silent, he wouldn't have gone to the back. But sorry,
And I
go
think
ahead.
that's where he belongs. That's my opinion.
Yeah, just be very brief. I was just going to ask, how should we prioritize how do we even determine what our needs ought to be or our desires ought to be? You know what I mean? Like, like a lot of people say I need this or I want this, but a lot of times I would just question like, how do you know what you want? Like by what process should we approach that question? This is something I ask myself all the time, and I just wanted to ask that to you guys.
I love that question, and I'm curious to hear other people how you deal with. How do you?
I think the answer in there is going to be something to do with healthy. What's healthy? But that's all I got so far.
I love that.
Personally, I parse the balance between what is healthy, like Joe says, for me, and what is good for the environment around me and others, if I can. But obviously, I tend to choose me first because that is safety and and judgment.
Aaron, when you said what's good for the people in our environment around you, give me some examples. Give me some examples.
I in my work life quite often have to design surround environments for people that don't know each other, that have to live in close proximity, or I have to live in close proximity with a group of people that are diverse. So you have to make choices that are not just for yourself, but are also good for the whole, so you don't upset the balance of don't rock the boat.
Be more specific, motherfucker.
Okay. You live in a tour bus or a submarine, you have to know when to take your shoes off and read the room, or know when people don't like you to have your socks off, or know not to eat stupid stanky things on the bus. I mean, these are small little petty things, but you know what I mean? Like I do that in my environment, in my neighborhood too. Like, I'm not going to throw a party till 2 a.m. I'll run it till midnight because that's what the neighbors do. Consideration.
I dig it.
So yeah, that's kind of my thing. And for me though, that added what I talked about first, which is the self, defining the things that I need for the self. Those will override the other judgments, but not so much that I run across consideration. That's just a general rule.
I was wondering, the reason I asked that question when you said what's good, I was wondering how much yourself is in there. I mean, that's good that you are considerate of other motherfuckers, but the shit that come out of your mouth is good too. How much of that do you have to spread? I was wondering if you were going down that line.
Yeah, I used to think when I was in my 20s that it was my job to spread that.
It is, bro.
Well,
what
I'll tell you what happened. I found through my work that you don't have to impress upon anybody anything. The
You don't have
pedals
to impress
of truth.
upon motherfucker. That's different, but
Yeah.
it's still your job to spread. You don't have to impress it. You can impress it. Stop trying, but it's always your job.
Well, I would gather by those terms then, yes, I still do believe it's my job. I just do it in a completely different way. I just do it
Very
in a
good.
way that
That's so
I
good to
leave the
hear.
pollen. I leave the pollen, and if you want to take it, you can grow your own plants too.
That's right. Drop the seed if it falls on fertile ground. Great. If it doesn't, I'm still dropping the seeds, baby.
Sure, call me Johnny Weedsy.
That's right.
I'd like to jump in here to the doing the next right thing. What I heard a long time ago, and I remember consciously implementing these ideas as I go through my day. When an opportunity or a choice comes up, the question is, will it serve others? Will this serve, or how does this serve others? How does this serve me? And if it is
You consciously thought of these things as you would.
Yep. That would be my method of trying to decide if it's only for me or only for others.
That's
it's
good
probably
shit.
a choice to walk away from. If it's beneficial for us both, then that's where I go.
That's advanced shit. I expect not Chiquita to be on that level or something. I'm certainly not there yet, bro.
It's easiest when, honestly, when our focus is love. My own path, and I don't know if I'm right or wrong, but what I have been doing is I've humbled myself. Kind of it might have been in a way of, don't take this wrong. It was my way of saying, fuck you, God. All right, this is what you're going to do with me. All right, I'll show you. When it came time, people asked me for something.
Which part, the humbling yourself was a fuck you to God, or the not humbling yourself was a fuck you to God?
Humbling myself, because once I started really getting to this point, I've started challenging myself when choices come into my life for me to serve others. It's yes, and how far, how much. I try and go above and beyond what's asked for.
I'm not sure that answers my F you to God question. I'm not sure. I could see my not humbling myself. That's the logical, clear screw you, God. But I humble myself. Once you do that, it's like, I don't know, it's like he touches you, and no one has screw you anymore. When you're humble, I don't know, I think that's the definition of it. That's when you see him.
Holy shit, that's what you just said. That's what I did. I became humble so others couldn't hurt me. I was like, fuck it. I will give away. I will give, and
that's interesting.
And then others can't. I bet that's what
I think you're saying I just gave in, or I just gave in.
Hey, Jack.
That's interesting. It's over my head.
Hey, Jack, I actually use that same technique. So if you watch me in the other panels or here, I'll absorb all the insults, no problem. I'll agree with them, but then I'll call it as I is. I call whatever they're doing as I see it. Then they'll get triggered, and then they usually get kicked.
You're good at that. Hank.
You have been doing. Now that you've pointed that out, it's real clear. I think you have been doing that. Hey, when I said I was kind of an F you to God, it was really more of an fuck you to Jack, right? Okay, God, if you're there for me and you're going to keep putting me in these places where I got to keep giving, all right, I'm going to give, and let's see what you're going to do, God.
I think now it's a fuck it then. Fuck it. I'll do it. Fuck it. I think that's what he's saying. Yeah.
And no, Jack, that is a form of mind control. Yeah, me and Jack are using mind control techniques.
What the?
Manipulation.
What do you,
Sorry, Joe. I have a question for you, and it reverts back to the introspective side of what you were saying, by the way, because I think it's very interesting. And I would ask you: is it the fact that you don't have a specific necessity to apply that general concern beyond your own interest, and that you haven't
Yeah.
needed that, or is it just that, because I don't find you self-focused or solipsistic in any way, so I'm a little shocked to hear that because of also your interests. So
Give me the first part again. What was
is it the fact that you don't like Jack has been a steward, so you have to deal with a bunch of people and think about a bunch of people beyond yourself on a general basis. Is it that applique that maybe defines the slight difference of the way that you approach that concern for others? Or I'm sorry, that extension of the concern past yourself for others, and not to be.
I think I can live off of really basic shit. I think that is my focus is the concern for others, in the sense that my whole day is how can I make other people's life easier. Uh, uh, this person gets too much anxiety over this. How can I make that smoother for that person? That's all the fuck I go about and do all day. I don't know if that answers your question or not.
No, but it's a different take, because it from what you were saying before, and actually illuminates that you really are quite thoughtful on a general, a community basis.
Yeah.
And and more power to
I
you.
wish I remembered what I said before, or how I was, talking about what I was.
It was more in the introspective self that you were hearing Jack talk about the concern for others as a balance with himself, and where he draws that boundary. And you kind of said it was over your head, and I would disagree with you. I think that you are, doing that on a regular, and maybe you just don't realize it, which is why I was asking.
Yeah, when I said it's over my head, I meant I was not understanding him at that point. I had I wasn't understanding him to agree or disagree. I was saying, oh shit, it went over my head. The last concept he had, I couldn't grasp it. I was laying, it went over my head. That's what I was saying.
Sorry to pick this, but this actually reminds me of a question I wanted to bring up previously, and I'll ask it directly to Jack, but it's an overarching question that I think directly relates to what we're talking about. Jack, if you got into a position where you found that you could help the maximum number of people, but the only way you could do it was to tell a noble lie, would you accept that, or would you not?
Oh, I'm sorry, Jack. Fuck that shit. Fuck
I
that.
can't imagine myself in that situation.
Girl.
If I did, I would find a way to. I would have to find a way to honor the truth and.
He is saying he does not accept the premise. I will find a way to be truthful. I like it.
But isn't that the noble lie in itself? Is taking the truth and more blowing it up? I think that maybe the term lie.
I dig it. I like it. No, I understand. You're right. We all shape the truth when we consider our audience. Is that not, in some sense, a noble lie?
Yeah, exactly. Machine, you seem like you have contemplation on this, and I know you got thoughts. What are you thinking, man?
How do you be looking at the screen? How do y'all be knowing motherfuckers is making faces
He was
and
so
shit?
deep in contemplation up there. There's math going on.
There was math going on.
Well, I just think that obviously, those who are bound by desire see only the outward container. So that relates to how we judge our our thoughts and opinions and our needs, and also how it relates to.
How did you phrase that? Did you say those who seek desire shape the outside container? Do you remember what you just said verbatim?
Yeah, yeah. Those who are bound by desire see only the outward container.
See
so
only
it's like
the outward container.
Yeah, so it's like if you see, and it reminds me of something we were talking about with Cage earlier. That we have mind and perception, and that only sees duality because it sees through nature's laws, and that relates to craft, how we could be deceived by something. I mean, basically what Neuro Jack is asking, it's like, what your lie, would you, what's worse, is a lie to get to the truth, or or a truth that leads you to a lie, and also there's a construction of things, in terms of artifice, because perception is duality. So if we see things, there's a part of us that is focused on desire. That's just the surface of knowledge. Once we get the knowledge, then what are we going to do with it? Well, I guess it seems that wisdom seeks a beauty that's beyond relation. If you want knowledge, I guess knowledge is the same as desire in a lot of ways, but that goes to another thing, is craft, that we want
Wait,
to.
Machine Lies, when we seek, if the first part was right, when we seek desire or something, we seek an outside vessel. But I definitely seek knowledge. Does that mean I'm seeking an outside vessel?
That goes to the next thing, is that if it's an outside vessel that you seek to gain knowledge from, then that's a technique, so that's already contained within whatever you want to seek. But if it's nature that you want to seek knowledge from, then that goes to the concept of need. What is natural, is what's intrinsic, is what comes
Okay.
from within.
All right, I
It
feel
comes
you.
from your full potential.
All right,
But
thank you for
want,
giving me that out. Thank you.
Can I just give Machine the credit for incredibly in-depth knowledge of Jungian esotericism and also psychology? That is, you are damn near one of the most knowledgeable people I've ever come across about that study.
He want to fuck you, bro.
Psychologically, let's go.
Yeah, okay. Anyway, hey, I just dug this up for Mr. Machine Lies. I've been meaning to show this to him. I got this thing on my screen right here. See, I got Plato and Socrates and Aristotle. They're all sitting right there. See it? And then they're surrounded by all the logical fallacies. Like there's ad hominem and straw man and stuff like that. And you can find this pinned at the top of the board on 4chan.org on their poll in the /poll.
Well, I want to say this really quick about that. I actually think that you can use logical fallacy to discern truth in certain situations.
Oh, this is good. Give me that. I missed it. I was turning the heat off. Logical fallacies can be used to determine truth.
Right, particularly in a more than one person looking at the thing situation.
Either my internet is tripping or yours is.
It dropped out a little. So you're saying in comparative, it can be used as a leverage to illuminate the truth.
Okay, I go for that.
Yes, correct.
Yes.
I'd agree.
Fuck yeah. Yes. You're in my territory now, man. That's the funniest shit in the world is watching the psychology behind motherfuckers like well, people see in person how they're resulting to that straw argument or they don't see the fallacy. A lot of these people use these things with nefarity. It is not that they're unaware. They're using these things with nefarity. Some people, as an instinct, that's their reaction now, is to come up with a false argument, to recapitulate your argument in a false way, and then argue that one. But some people, it's more reactive. Some people are very well aware that they're doing that shit.
Yeah, right. But a lot of people aren't. Many people are not aware.
Yes, I would agree with that shit. Most people, this is just what they've been taught. This is how they've learned to react, what they've heard other people do. They haven't broken it down and examined the truth of the thing. This is how you win the argument. And that's why I don't like when people be like, it's a battle. Yeah, I won and shit when they get up here and talk on a panel. Because this should be a quest for the truth.
No, and I just want to mention this really quick. I think it goes back to the whole idea of like conspiracy versus non-conspiracy, because the truth is you can never know intent. You can only infer intent, basically. Right?
Ding, ding,
Yes,
ding.
of course.
I have this problem with a lot of the arguments that go down on these Twitch poll panels or on, you know, a lot of these argumentative debate panels, simply because, you know, I'm interested in it personally, and I hope to have the dialectic come to a synthesis, that being getting to another level of the discussion. And you never get there if somebody's looking for a W or L, because these discussions are video games.
Hey, but you do know, but you may not get there in a discussion, but it doesn't stop you from learning. Because then when someone comes in on that divergent path, I'm learning. Why did he do that? Blah, blah, blah. You know, I had to shift somewhere else, but didn't you enjoy the ride? If I'm not invested, I enjoy the ride, right?
I can agree with that too. No, that is a whole thing. As a you know, someone who grew up around the Grateful Dead, you know, it reminds me of the song, you know.
I'm not familiar with the Grateful Dead at all, but I like that
troubles may
philosophy.
come, but at least you'll enjoy the ride. That's the line.
Yes, that's accurate as fuck, bro.
Yeah.
And then you don't see them as troubles anymore either. It's just something that happens, and that's fucked up. But that's
But
you know,
isn't that something we also learn with age? We stop giving into the petty bullshit problems and go, that's not worth it. That's not worth it. And pick out.
and ain't that you give in. They don't affect you anymore. You're not, you know, it's not that you're giving in. They just are not as effective. And I'm so callous now. I'm not lying. And I shouldn't be saying this, but I find myself watching the news, so and they always throw in a part where it's supposed to tug at your heartstrings. And it could be a mom who lost her 16-year-old fucking kid. But I immediately, I don't know where I'm
This
going.
is why you have a personality disorder.
Well, this is exactly. I just want to tie this point together. This is exactly what I'm trying to get at. Is like, you know, truth is not a good in and of itself. It's what are you doing with the truth? If you have no purpose, then what the fuck is it for? There's no essentially. It can be used as a weapon. It can be used as a tool. It can be used in anywhere.
That's my argument with Paul. He stands on, and a lot of people, Paul in particular, when he's chastising Jack, he says it's the truth. But like you say, how are you using that truth, right?
Yeah, I had to criticize Paul with that too. People want to use truth as a shortcut to not telling a good story that makes sense.
Yes,
that's trash. That's trash.
Or as a shortcut to being honest, or you know, like you know, I don't have to be honest or kinder anymore if I tell the truth. Like it's an alternative path that's equal or something.
Yes.
I also tend to find
you can tell him I said that truth isn't an auto win button. You need to tell a story that makes sense.
Yeah, and I would posit to add to Hank's point is that I often hear people speak of truth without calling to authority, giving example, giving connection to these thoughts, that they give them base, so they become surreptitious or you know, derisive, where it becomes a me versus you rather than us talking about something to come to understanding. And
all right, wait. The truth. What is at the very first line when you open with there's something about truth to authority. I didn't make the connection.
Oh, sorry. Using truth as kind of a valor signal without any call to authority, meaning like the information at hand or providing any structure to it other than I know, but you don't, which is like, bro, how can we have a discussion about this if we can't all share in the information? You know,
yes, and the more egotistical you are, I hope I'm not cutting you off here, the more difficult that becomes because they don't feel like they have to explain the truth anymore. Or even worse, you're not worthy of an explanation. You'd never understand anyway. Then you get into that territory, bro.
Yeah.
Which is fine. You say, okay, I'm too stupid. Just go ahead and punish me, daddy.
Yes, right.
That's the only option I got. So just go ahead and punish me. Hurry up, make it quick.
Right. I'm sorry, I'm dumb. Right.
Yeah. So make your punishment quickly. I'm busy. I have stuff to
do. Is it wrong for me to call that devolving to idiocracy? You know?
No. I think you're correct. It's evolving to idiocracy. And that's like something like Abrahamism, because it seems like an idiocracy pole, the pole of idiocracy. It drags everything down.
Well, but by your own definition, you know, when you say Abrahamism is false or whatever, is it the way it's being used, or is it the root of it? Is it the interpretation that's wrong, or is it the factual
Yeah,
truth
why'd you use
there?
that
I never
reference
said it's
right there?
false. I never said it's false. It's just, I guess, the way it's used at the moment, it drags people to stupidity, except for the way some of the Jewish people use it a different way, but mostly it's drags people dumber. That's a trend.
Yeah.
I missed what is making people dumber?
Just most implementations of Abrahamism makes people think less and act dumber.
That's
Mainstream media.
that's a conclusion. I mean, you could create somewhat of a case for that, but it's the misinterpretations and the confusion that has been widespread throughout our world, mainly from religions.
But we can't know the intent. Is that on purpose or not? But what we can do is, can we refine things to the point where it is comprehensible as to what is true and what is not true within Abrahamism? Or
no,
Dean rejects Abrahamism too. So I'm trying to not really use that word, but I just want to.
Yeah, well, I don't think so, but we can always pick and choose what makes the most sense for an objective. So, I mean, Jefferson made his own Bible, got a lot of the magic stuff. You can pick and choose particular stories to drive a point home. You can optimize out. It's like a library. No, most people don't use all C++, but you can pick and choose parts that make sense. So you can do that with the Bible and the Quran.
I'm editing a video right now that's like 2 hours and 30 minutes of deposition from just one person. So I have to edit it, and I'm picking and choosing to write my story. So I'm with you.
Well, these stories, they're for a purpose, and what you said, people do kind of get to pick what they want. And here's where my thought is: our beliefs are based on where we think we are, right? Our relationship with the rest of the world, that's what forms a lot of our beliefs. And then those beliefs form the relationship between us and the rest of the world.
I dig it.
The point is, regardless of all of the pages of the Bible, all of the pages of history, what it really boils down to is, how do we do? What do we do, and how do we feel right now? It matters what we do from now on, the next right thing. That's really all that matters.
Yeah, that makes my day a lot easier when I'm contemplating these things. They're just hypothetical, Joe. Literally, the only things that matters is right now. Are you being kind right now? Are you being that guy you see yourself as right now? So I don't mind contemplating. I love contemplating, but it simplifies your shit. When you realize, as Jack just said, the only moment you have is now. We're talking about what you did in your past, what you're going to do in your future, but what speaks is what you're doing fucking now.
Yeah. And can I ask though, as how would we then implement, based off of this right now concept, adjustments to, the culture and humanity of getting to the center of the truth when on either side, and then the second portion of the question is, do people believe that there's manipulation to get people to not understand the truth? And how do we find that middle ground somewhere in there to get some kind of cohesive agreement?
Flo, I think this is yours, Flo.
Yeah,
Now,
it kinda
listen,
is
I
Flo's
guarantee you he's fucking typing in the chat or something. This is where he would have been good at people's intent and however you phrase that shit. I might have convoluted.
Flo's filming his OFA. That's where he makes his money.
Okay.
Even that didn't get his attention.
If he's there, I'm sure.
Can you rephrase what you said, Aaron? Because it's slipped. And a matter of fact, we can add some more.
It's just is how do we get to the middle ground of that truth between people across the planet? Find that truth. Everybody has a different belief. And do we believe that there's a manipulation to keep people away from that?
I'd say yes.
The first part of the second part, yes, you're answering. Yes, people are trying to keep you away. And the first part was how do we find that middle ground of the truth? And at the same time, understand that people are trying to keep it hidden and trick the person who you're trying to find middle ground with. Sucks.
Here, there is an effort. I mean, there's a benefit for the masses being confused.
So who's benefit?
Well, those who are not confused, they can they can control the others who are confused.
Get Jack being all back of alien and shit.
Well, so if we can recognize and serious, look at history. The documentation is clear between Edward Bernays, the influence of the Nazis coming over, helping our government thrive, right? Helping America do better.
Operation Paperclip.
Yeah, all of those things are there to keep the masses confused. So if we can accept, all right, maybe the world is stacked against me. Maybe the world as a whole, as a general, doesn't want me to know what is true.
Okay.
So we can we can say, okay, well then the truth, we can never know the truth. So why even bother? I just got to focus on me and not worry about anything else. But
yeah,
what I came to realize, my life started improving within myself, my emotional strength, my intellectual. My life started improving when I started learning again. And that's when I realized I was feeling better because I was learning. The learning was bringing new ideas and perspectives, causing me to do different things. So learning is how we grow. We're
check this
here
out.
to grow. Go ahead.
I read a book, and this is like my big first step in advancing and bettering myself. I read a book. I don't remember the name of it. It was Eckhart Tolle. It was Eckhart Tolle, and it was something about killing your ego. And I'd read that. That was the beginning of me bettering myself, and still I'm on that same journey. Kill the fucking ego. That was the big thing, and it's a tool that I still fucking use. I humble myself. That's a tactic I use when people are being really shitty. That's when I really humble myself. That surely that's your biggest task and all of that. And they're really giving you false accusations and calling you names and twisting your fucking shit. You fucking humble yourself and you'll learn. It's in the obvious, because that's when you'll hear the shit they saying and you'll know why they're saying it. You wouldn't have saw these things if I was not humble. I'm fighting him. I'm trying to outdo him. Nope. You humble yourself and you see, this insecure fuck. The only reason he's doing this is because he's afraid I'm going to go here. I don't know. That's how I got better myself, became knowledgeable and truthful shit. Humble yourself, bro.
I didn't realize it, but that's what I was doing too. Humbling myself. First of all, you got to be strong to humble yourself. And so
it's like a test, right? It's a test. It becomes a test, man.
Well, and Hank mentioned earlier, he's been growing in his ability. He'll just receive all the negativity. How do you deal with that? Is it through humbling yourself? And if so, Joe, what do you do to humble yourself?
I think it's because he's already a humble cat. He doesn't have the ego. He thinks he's as smart as the guy sitting across the room from him, and you underestimate me. I don't think he even has to fucking humble himself.
I'm the best covert narcissist on the planet.
All right. So he's going up and over. He's going the arrogant way to the humility. I got it. It works.
This is
Well,
brilliant.
Jack, I would say, sometimes accomplishing a bunch of stuff and doing great things will make you humble because you realize how much larger these things are than the self, and that even though you may have feel like you accomplished them, you're just an ant in comparison to the effect. And to me, that's most humbling. Looking at 100,000 people, you recognize that they're way more important than you are, even no matter what you built. And
Yes,
it's one of those things that I can't remember who said it to me, but no matter what you do, you will always be humbled by the next step you take.
that's dope, and I agree. And if you'll never see that those 100,000 people, you'll never have that. God, I lost it. It's a good one too.
It must be really good smoke, man, and I'm jealous.
It is, yo, it is. And I feel goofy every time I forget something. I hit it again. Like, fuck it, let's go to worse and do it more. Oh, and that was a good one, Joe. You don't see that 100,000 people. If you're, girl, I wish I could remember.
It's humbling. It's humbling being a part of something that big. That's what I heard. Being a part of something that great. Seeing, and I can imagine.
Here. Let me say, this is what I was going to say. You don't have any influence over those. God dog it, I lost it again. Let's hit it again.
What you're saying and heading towards is absolutely true. You get humbled by the fact that you recognize it doesn't matter what you did. You're just a little thing in comparison. You're just a little chink in the chain that it doesn't matter what. It doesn't matter if you paid for the damn thing. If they didn't show up, it wouldn't happen.
I was going to it. If you don't put the work in, you don't see a thing. Right. Let's say you can only have it one way. I can be the humble guy that puts the work in, or I can be the guy who's this big guy who has a hit song. But you're no longer the humble guy. You're no longer the other guy. So you never even become the guy who has a hit record. If you acknowledge I'm a superstar with a hit record, it's putting the work in every day, and then other people be like, this nigga has a hit record that makes the hit record. If you stop putting the work in, you're not the guy who made the hit record no fucking more. It's weird.
So that's on point. You meet people who have great accomplishments, great learned knowledge, and they tend to be fully unassuming. They tend to be unaware of their impact, or just continuing on without looking around them.
Yes, just you see the guy who has all his money, he's driving a regular car, he still works, he got a shitty tight ass t-shirt on, because he hasn't realized, oh my God, I got money, I've done this and that. Oh, well, fuck, I do the same shit every day.
So are we saying though that those that are recognizing their own achievements are failing or themselves in a certain fashion?
They are absolutely failing themselves in a direct fashion. I'm sorry, but those cats at those award shows and all of that pomp and circumstance, they are failing themselves. Yes, there's no fucking way around it. Sucks, but yes, there's no way around it. If you're sitting up thinking, I want to be on the Oprah interviewed so I can show why you failed. You suck. Yeah, you suck. You fucked up. Just do the work. Just be the guy. Well, fucking Oprah call you one day, right?
I'm gonna keep a clip of that just so I can put it on my show.
Yeah. Hey, I'm thinking it's about time to wrap up.
Sounds
We've
good.
had some good conversations today.
Yeah, it was a good day. Really good day, man. I'm sorry to interrupt, but I had a great day. I got a lot of work done on the video I'm editing, and I take a break, and this was really good. I had those chaotic fucks, K's and Bunny them on here earlier. It was great.
Yes.
Be easy, gents.
Peace. Thank you, Joe. Appreciate it, brother.
Later, Joe. And I've got to prep for my my characterized red pill stream where I make fun of a complete red pill character for about 2 hours in my imaginary van. So thank you very much, Jack, and everybody else on the panel. I really appreciate everybody's points of views and what everybody has to add. By the way, it's always an honor to be here and share with y'all.
Respect. Thanks, Aaron.
Peace,
have a beautiful night, brother. Cecil, Hank.
I got something. Cecil, you go first.
I'll probably see you on another stream somewhere, probably tomorrow or something.
Respect. Thank you, brother. Have a good night, man.
Yeah.
Google and Google. Dang it, juicy.
Thoughts, gentlemen?
Are you ending? I stepped away and I can.
You showed up just in time to end. Are you going to do anything later? Do you know?
I don't know. I don't have any plans at the moment, but you know, who knows? Probably will.
Yeah, I was going to say we didn't get you fired up enough yet. Hank, get on it.
Yes, I might say something. Yes. So Paul enslaved. What's the point of me promoting your panel, promoting your show, if you're going to go ahead and remove it? It was very entertaining, but you go and remove it because you didn't feel you were in control. This is ridiculous. You're wasting my time to ask me to promote you and try to read your dumb scripts if you're not going to leave the show up. So put the show back up.
What did he want you to do?
So he was butthurt over the fact that I said no when he told me to read the script and say a stupid Alex Jones line, when that's very, very ineffective, because when he sends Officer Snaps or Luigi or Officer Tarek to do it, all they do is just get out the stupid accusation, then they get kicked off the show for being disruptive.
In Jack's or in mine?
Yes, both. Their tactics don't work. They have to cupcake like I do. You need to give it a program, or you won't have the influence.
You understand that he was trying to create divisions with your relationships. That wasn't about him getting a message to us. It was about him putting a wedge between you and people.
Well, the wedge is on the other ass. I mean,
the wedge that I see mainly is that you keep trying to get blowjobs out of me. That's the real wedge. It's
like I say, I'm pretty slutty. I'm pretty desperate. I'm sorry,
Jack. It happened here earlier on your stream, on your panel. This one, yeah, it did.
What did I miss?
Oh, Hank just being Hank.
Yeah.
Okay.
But seriously, Paul, you have to change your ways, or you're gonna lose influence. You're gonna lose episodes. You're gonna lose. You're not gonna communicate your message well, and you have to pick and choose who's gonna ride with you, because you pick the wrong crew. You're just gonna be stuck losing over and over again. So please put the show up, learn from it, let everyone else learn from it.
Hank, I love that you said that, because in regards to Paul, I mean, I don't think it's a big surprise. Paul and I there's something there, mutual admiration, mutual respect. There's something, even though he's quite disrespectful towards me. I keep hearing him talk about, he gives the right the right advice. Surround yourself with people who want to see you rise and succeed. And he's pushed people like me away from him, who want him to grow and do better. And then he makes sure that he's got an echo chamber around him of people who love him just how he is.
Yeah, I'm the one guy who will say no to him when it's appropriate, and now he's triggered. So I'm just gonna put the mirror up to you. I want you to see that you're triggered by the fact I said no to you, but that's what you need. And I know you're gonna watch this because you're trying to get the clips out. I'm gonna say it again. You're triggered by me saying no to you.
Triggered.
And you need to watch that episode and post it back up so you can watch it over and over again, so you can learn and grow and be more effective.
You could learn something from Hank.
There we go. I hope that message is delivered.
I'm glad I came back for the end of this.
I bet you are, Flo. All right. Anything else? Thank you, Hank. God bless, man. Flo, Machine Lies. What do you guys think?
Yes. I don't know.
Well, I think in terms of the subject, you guys were talking about truth, and I think that people were doubting the efficacy of people claiming truth, and I think that truth has to be inward relation to the outward entirety of a situation, and knowledge it can only be gained incrementally, and it has to be possessed within a subject. And since knowledge is infinite, it's always an objective certainty that's held with it has to be an objective certain uncertainty that's held within a subjective, because truth is participatory. So it dwells within the realm of relation. you know um so like I talked about this a little bit on my show about logic. Logic is what is being said, the content of what is being said, but the context is based in rhetoric. Rhetoric is how you're saying it. As the famous Bruce Lee line is, that it's like a finger pointing to the moon, and those who are paying attention to the finger are missing the heavenly glory of the moon, because they're paying attention to the who's making the point and not what's being pointed to. But anyways, and that explains the difference between wants and needs in a way. What is on the surface and what is inside of us, what has intrinsic relation.
Love that. That's what I was thinking about earlier. There was a question posed of, would you offer, I don't remember the term, would you offer a white lie to benefit others? A noble lie. I think that was the term used.
Right.
Proper application of rhetoric, you can present the truth and possibly accomplish both. Because it's how we present that which is true. The method of presenting the truth, well, that's what determines, is it accurate or not? Is it light or dark? What is it? It's how we present it, I think. I don't know. I'm kind of getting out there with that. But I think I see what you mean.
Jack, you've been out there.
I live out there, man.
Yes, you do. So does Machine Lies. Both of y'all kind of live out in the periphery of sanity.
I think you do too, Flo. You translate well.
I try to hide it better.
Maybe that's it. You hide it. Well, getting your mind out there, thinking different than what the mainstream is, it keeps you away from others. Sometimes that's safer in a world of the insane.
Well, I don't. I mean, there's no reason to lead with your insanity.
No.
It makes you less effective.
Yes. Well, that goes back to what I was trying to get across with Cage, too. Our insanity is revealed the more we speak. Most men would do best to stay silent. And I know I'm included in that myself on many occasions.
I would just throw in a kind of a thought on the wants and needs things, is that I don't think that it's as clear. It's not that distinct. I think that there are some clear needs, and so there are some clear wants, but I think most of the things are somewhere in a continuum where it's a bit of one and a bit of the other, and that it's our own mental comfort that makes us want to draw a distinction where there isn't really one. Life is more complicated and gray than that.
I can respect that. Absolutely. I'm going to give a couple of last words myself. Anything else? Peace. Thank you, brother. Sheen Lions, anything more from you?
No, I just thank everyone for being here with me. And for all of the participation in the chat, and have a blessed day, everyone. Thank you.
Respect. Thank you, my brother. And brothers and sisters, all of you, sincerely, who clicked the link, joined the panel, who clicked the link and joined us in the chat or joined us in viewing. Thank you. I appreciate your time, energy, and attention today during the stream, during the conversations. We discussed some goals, some ideas of wants versus needs. And I think we did a pretty decent job of flushing these things out. And I think we got some pretty good ideas together. Especially in the end there with the what Flo, I think it was Flo who offered. It's fluid. The line between wants and needs, the desires and intentions, or the drives and the what was it? Drive and it wasn't intention, it was something else. Everything can overlap and appear more or less than what it really is. And brothers and sisters, I do have a goal for me, a goal I made for myself a long time ago. And I want to encourage you, please consider this goal for yourself. If you can set the goal for yourself to be happier, to be healthier, to be more peaceful, more kind, to be more truthful, more honest, maybe even a little more forgiving, a little more humble. Brothers and sisters, when we can grow in the good things, when we can grow into what we want more of, what the world may want more of, when we are providing those wants, fulfilling desires for ourselves and the world, that is our purpose. And you can feel good about fulfilling your purpose when you're aware of what you're doing, when you're aware of your purpose, when you're aware of the path, the steps you're taking to fulfill your purpose. And if you can, sincerely, I'm going to wrap it up here, thanking all of you again for joining. If you stay tuned, we will be back again in the near future. So please watch for the notifications, share the subscription, and until we return, please simplify your life. Try. At least give yourself the permission to try and simplify your life. And if you can commit to trying to simplify your life, and if you can get some actionable steps, just a small little step, what can you get rid of from your life today? What can you, bad habit, bad practice, bad whatever, what can you just toss away and let go of from your life today that really won't be that significant, but it will be advancement. It will be a step. It will be evidence of your change and your growth. If you can find those things that you can effortlessly just step away from, those things that are no longer bringing life for you, your fears, your resentments, your guilt, your shame, if you can overcome those and just walk away from those, well, brothers and sisters, you get to start your life again. So, brothers and sisters, please tune in again in the future. And till next time, choose love, peace for everyone, and live without fear. Thank you, and God bless us all.